going on, guys? Welcome back to B&H Live. We're with Brandon, or AKA B2 from Oodles a Noodles. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you coming in and joining us on this Saturday night.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, absolutely. I'm down to party. I'm always down to party.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I could talk snakes for like ever.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've realized my passion is now, is snakes. I wish somebody would have warned me going into it that when you buy one, within a very short amount of time, one turns into 5, then turns into 10, and now we're at 16.
Dude, I tell people when they tell me it's their first snake, I usually say, I'm the drug dealer. I'm giving you the first hit right now. Like that's the analogy I use because it's such an addiction. Like, especially when it comes to ball pythons, and you start doing your homework, and you see the morphs, and you're like, yeah, like the world is big.
Right.
It's a large world.
Yeah, it's crazy, and because we will be doing this a year. We just started in June of last year. So real quick, tell us about yourself. Tell us how long you've been doing it, and then we'll get into our story first.
All right. Well, I have so I started Oodles a Noodles 7 years ago as an educational, longer than 7 years ago, as an educational thing for kids to teach them about snakes and stuff, and then to fund the educational trips and all that stuff, I started breeding ball pythons. As of the 28th, so like a week ago, I've officially been producing ball pythons for 7 years.
Wow.
Chucks. My dog's over here being crazy.
I wish we could have a dog.
You allergic?
No, we rent, so we're not.
Oh yeah, that's the actual reason. Like, I bought a house. Like, I was breeding. So when I first started, actually, I don't think I've ever told anybody this. I was breeding ball pythons in like a 2-bedroom apartment, and and then I got my dog. Hey, come here, and I got this guy. Come here, come here. He's coming. He's old. I got this guy.
Oh man.
He's come here. We found him on the side of the road and stuff. So
really.
Oh yeah. He was in pretty bad condition. So he's my best friend now. But so he was the reason I was like, all right, I'm gonna get out of this apartment. I'm gonna get a house. So I bought my first house because of this dude right here.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh.
Then I was able to expand the snakes as well. So,
yeah, that's awesome. We're hoping to get a house sometime soon.
Dude, it's knowing what I know now. I would have bought my first house at like between 20 and 22 years old.
Yeah,
like it's that is never a bad investment because whether you have an economical crash or, like the whole recession and back in like 2009 and stuff, like it always bounced back and someone always needs a place to live.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The housing market is such a good market.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's very good or like the best at the moment. And that's our problem. Like, we have a 3-bedroom house with 5 people, 3 kids and us 2. So we're kind of at this standstill at the moment with
that's rough.
Our snake collecting, and like we only have so much room that we can move things and put stuff. So like, I want to make B&H bigger and have the big, the nice big ARS racks and stuff, but I don't have the place to put it.
I feel that.
So instead of wasting all that money on trying to, not wasting it, but like buying the stuff and like trying to scram it and cram it into places, why not just save it, hold on a little bit? The hobby's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's
I'll be doing this for the rest of my life, because I'm going full time at the end of the year, and even if it wasn't going to be my full time job, I'd be doing this for the rest of my life. Like, there's no way, dude. It's too
right.
It's too amazing.
It is.
Like, it really is.
So how many like snakes do you have right now?
I think yesterday I counted somewhere around 220.
Wow.
See, and I would like to be there at some point. I know it takes time. I mean, like you said, you've been doing it almost 8 years.
Yeah, I just hit 7.
Right,
last
just
week.
7. So
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, I didn't like some active duty Army, right? And
Right.
I've been active duty Army the whole time I've been breeding snakes. So
thank you for your service, by the way.
appreciate the
Yeah,
support.
thank you.
Thank you. But okay, people in the Army do not get paid a lot of money. Straight up, like,
Right.
be pretty upfront with you. I'm a staff sergeant.
Yeah, my brother, he's in the Air Force and he's the staff sergeant. He says all the
Yeah.
time, like, people think we make tons of money.
We don't make
He's
money.
like, it is far from tons of money.
Yeah, we don't make any good money. So when I decided to breed, I guess, I let my collection grow organically. Right? What was my first pairing? I think my first pairing was a male pastel to a female normal. Like something as simple as that, just to see if I could do it, to get my feet wet.
Yeah, that's kind of like our first pairing.
Yeah. What's yours?
Super Spark, vanilla, just to a normal female.
Oh,
We're kind of
good.
like, we're 99% sure he's a super spark, but it's possible that he's Puma vanilla. So it's kind of something like,
Okay, spark yellow belly.
Right. So we don't know because he's very yellow with purple accent dots all over him. And he's got he's got stripes that go down his tail that are outlined in purple, but they're very light. It's very light. He almost looks like he's a freeway, but I don't think he is.
Then he probably is Puma.
Right. But
now you're going to figure it out because
right.
So
like being allelic.
We have 7 eggs.
Which is cool
So
for our first clutch.
If all of
That
them
is
come
good.
out as spark, then we'll know he's super spark.
Exactly. And if you get spark and yellow bellies,
Puma.
you know what's going on. Exactly.
Right.
So that's the way to do it. And you get your feet wet with something easy, cool,
Yep.
and easy to identify. And that's pretty important because when I first started, that's what I did was I bought a bunch of single gene females,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew the males is where you want your powerhouse to be, right? So I did that so I could learn to ID because people can look at morphs all day. You can look at morphs on Morph Market. You can look at stuff on World of Ball Pythons. But until you hatch something out of the egg and look at it that way, it's totally different because you think someone is going to give me their hard-earned money for this animal one day.
Right.
And I need to guarantee the section genetics. So
Right.
you look at it like way harder than
Right.
you've ever looked at something else.
That was the issue with the male, though, because we bought it as a female.
The normal?
No,
The
the
Puma.
Puma.
Okay, it ended up being a boy.
Yes, because he shed right when he got to about 600 grams. He went through his shed. After he shed, I'm looking at his tail, and I'm like, why has he got like stringy shit hanging out of his tail? And I'm like, that's not a female. She's like, well, what do you mean? Is it stuck shed? And so I like kind of held him, popped him. I'm like, it's a male.
It's a boy.
Yeah, so it kind of threw us off a little bit, but I mean, it's not a big deal. It was, whatever.
Everyone makes mistakes, and
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I paid female price for it, but
yeah, but there's going to be times where it's going to flip the other way. Like,
yeah,
I bought one of the things I did do that really benefited me now, all my recessive stuff for my females are all visual, all of them.
For your
So what I could do is buy my multi-gene males as hets because the males are always cheaper and everyone's always trying to get rid of them. And I
Right.
can always just put them to the visual female, hit my combo project, and then sell that male. So now I've sold the byproduct of the clutch. I hold back my gold product, and then I sell the male. And now I have a wad of cash to go and buy, again, another
Right.
male, powerhouse, het 4, whatever.
Right.
And so that's been benefiting me for years now. But I bought into the Huffman because I saw.
What is Huffman? I see it a little bit here and there, but I don't really know what it is.
So I was touring Mike Wilbank's facility about a year ago, and I saw this. I opened this tub. I was like, okay, Huffman Enchi, and I've seen Huffman, but I hadn't seen it in any combos. So I opened it up, and it was this crazy orange snake. And I looked at my buddy. I was like, I'm going to buy this right now. He's like, no, don't, because we have a mutual friend. He's like, he has some of this stuff and it's het pied. And I was like, bet. So when I started looking at Huffman, Huffman is on the same allele as the cinnamon black pastel.
Okay.
So it's in that complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's a darker gene. The super Huffman looks like a black pastel,
Really?
but a little more orange. So it's a dark animal with a sort of a wonky pattern, but instead of the pattern being brown,
Mm-hmm.
it's orange.
Really?
Mm.
That's probably
Yeah.
cool.
So let me see. I got Huffman within arm's reach actually. So this is actually not the best expression of Huffman. This is pretty low expression.
Mm-hmm.
But this is
Oh,
a
so-
Huffman.
Oh wow.
It does have the almost like the same pattern, like a cinnamon or black, the chaining of the alien heads.
Yeah. And then up here it's a little more low expression.
Yeah.
But this dude is this is the male. He's het pied and his markers are not very pronounced
Right.
at all. Now above him, so I needed a Huffman male to stay on topic. So I bought a Huffman male that ended up being a female.
Really?
So it flipped both ways, which because I told you I bought stuff the way that I did, I specifically buy males that are het for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got this much larger female. And this girl's a little more of what the Huffman is sort of like, but she's chill. But she's also het pied. But it doesn't look like, it looks like almost like a pewter without the pastel,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like a cinnamon pastel without the pastel. She's het for pied. Now the super Huffman looks like a wonky black pastel pattern, but it's
Right.
orange. But if you put Huffman, okay, so we now know that Enchi is also allelic with cinnamon black pastel.
Right.
It's also allelic with Huffman because Huffman is in that complex.
Right.
And I haven't seen it with het red exanthic yet, but what is it? The het red and the what's an onyx? Is that black pastel and het red?
I think so. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Beats me. I don't know.
I've been in the game a minute, and all these morphs are crazy.
Man, I tell you
Combo
what,
names.
there's so many of them, and it is. Oh, he said Raven.
She-
Mosh Ball said Raven. She. Sorry.
It's a she.
Yeah, I said sorry.
Oh, I was just reading the comments. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
And that's something like what Mosh Balls was saying. We did also. We thought it'd be cheaper to get het females first.
And then buy the visual male.
Yeah, and then we ended up catching a visual female as well, and so we got a couple things. Like we're starting in the Pied project. She really likes the Pieds, and I like them too.
Oh yeah.
Our issue is the first couple months we were in. So, like I was telling you, we started in June of 2020, and between June and August, we weren't told that it's a smart idea to pick a project and then
Yeah.
buy within that project. Buy what you like in that project.
Well, we also weren't really planning on breeding at that point.
Right.
Like we were kind of just like, oh, that looks cool. Let's get it.
Right.
And then a couple months later, we were like, you know, maybe we should just try breeding and see what happens. And now we're like, we definitely want to do this.
But we have a bunch of
now you're committed. What's up, Kenny?
Yeah, we have a few things that we don't like. I don't know what to do with. Like I have no idea.
Like we could put stuff together and make some cool stuff, but it's not like it's not something that you would think like somebody would buy to pair to make. You know?
Okay.
Because we would just end up making hets of stuff at the moment. Like
and that's okay. Like
right.
You always want to make hets for the future. So okay, if you're gonna buy males and females and you like pieds and you want to keep the pied look, clown pied is probably a very expensive project that you're gonna want to be in the near future.
Right.
Because it's still looks like a pied. Right? Like it still has a pied look. So, you know, single gene female pieds are pretty cheap. So you could probably get a single gene female pied, grow up for a year.
But the problem is we can't find anybody with like an adult or a sub-adult that's willing to sell a female pied.
Oh, of course not.
So we got a pied female, but we're going to have to grow her up.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like it's a little more, it means a little more when you grow something up, raise it up, and then breed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You get to, so that's, what I tell everyone is you need to endure the growing pains. Because there's just things that like if you both came and like stayed at my crib for like a month, there's still nothing I could teach you in that month that experience cannot, you know, sharpen your skills in. Like, I can sit there. So I cut a clutch. When did I cut that clutch? Maybe like a week and a half ago. And I had a banana in there, and the umbilicus was tangled, and it was wrapped, and the baby's head was pinned down into the yolk. So I'd actually go in there with a probe. I don't probe. This is the only reason why I keep a probe kit nearby. Go in there with the probe and slip it under the umbilicus, and take another probe and get it under the baby's jaw and, you know, get it out of there. And it was totally fine. It absorbed all the yolk, and it's going into its first shed now. And I can make a video on that, and I could show you all day, but until you actually do it yourself, you're not going to know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So there's no growing a snake up. You need the full experience. Like you need to soak it when it has a bad shed. You need to figure out how to get it back on food when it decides to hit that 1,000-gram wall. You need
we have one now that's got that issue. We bought it at like 1,200 grams. She ate 5 times, and now she's like down to 1,180, and she doesn't want to eat at all. Hasn't eaten since November. Nothing.
You got a male that's of size?
Yeah, I put a male in there. They ended up locking.
And still nothing?
Still nothing.
Move her up in tub level. Same tub, move her up and down levels.
Change. I even took her for a ride in the car a week ago.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
And then waited a day.
Change the levels.
Change her position in the rack.
Yeah, like if you don't want to eat, I'm going to probably move you up there.
Okay.
Like if you go back to JKR's like pro tips, like the 10 years ago pro tips, there's a video out there, and it's like, yo, you just change the levels, change the tub levels.
Oh, we haven't tried that.
No,
that helps a lot.
I haven't tried. I don't know, and like, but what also throws me off is the guy I supposedly got her from said she bred last year and laid a clutch in May of last year.
No, she didn't.
Supposedly.
Not at under 1,000 grams, she didn't.
Right. So I don't know if she was over, if she was at like 15, 16, laid a clutch, got to 1,200, and then...
Which is possible,
and
but
then
she probably
he sold her.
Yeah, she probably wasn't eating when he sold her. That's
right.
what I'm thinking.
And then didn't say anything.
What's her hatch date roundabout, do you know? Ish.
No, he couldn't. And like that's another thing. I asked the guy, and he was like, "Oh, I don't remember when she was born, because she's like, who knows how old she is now? I mean, she could be just so old that she's just not going to produce ever again, and just isn't healthy anymore. Who knows?"
So I do have a female pastel leopard who is, hold on, she is almost 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she is still under 1,500 grams. She's just always been a really horrible eater.
Mm-hmm.
Tried every trick in the book. And she's of age. She is a healthy body condition. And, I mean, dude, she's little.
Right.
She's a little girl. She's not,
Right.
she's done growing.
Yeah.
So, and she'll give me like 4 eggs, but like that's it. She just hates eating.
Really. And to answer Conwork One's question, yeah, we have offered pups, rat pups. We have offered ASFs. We had offered winged mice, large mice, small mice, frozen thawed, pre-killed. We have offered, all sizes and shapes of feeders.
Mm-hmm.
And she does not want, like, she will literally go up to it, sniff, smell it, taste it, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we've tried
And
live too.
she just literally turns around and goes away.
So like 90% of the time it's not the food. Try moving her levels, and
yeah, we're definitely gonna try that.
And as a very, 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 very last resort, ship her to somebody you know and trust, and then have them ship her right back to you.
Right.
So something I do is as soon as I get a snake in, I'll go pick it up at FedEx. It's cold, not because for any reason, people, whether you use a heat pack or a cold pack or no temperature control device, that snake is just going to feel like a shipped snake, which is cold.
Right.
So I give them like 3 hours in the tub to warm up, and I just throw a live meal in there right off the rip, and they eat every time. I have a female. Oh, I shouldn't. Okay, so I had a snake come in from a friend of mine. The friend of mine hooked me up with this snake for really cheap.
Right.
And says to me, I cannot get this snake to eat. This snake is 400 grams. It's a female. It's a 2-gene animal. One of those 2 genes is really powerful, and I cannot get this snake to eat. And I got it for $100. This is not a $100 snake.
Right.
I get it in, put it in the tub. 3 hours later, throw a live meal in there, crushes it.
Nails it.
Throw 2 more in there, crushes them both. Goes into shed, eats in shed.
Now she's just a perfect snake.
Yeah, so I don't know, because I'm a big science guy, right? I know like genetic science, I know biology.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's barometrics or altitude. I don't know what the deal is, but it's something about shipping a snake. When you ship a snake, it just killer instinct, dude.
Really?
That's wild.
People. There's a lot of really old knowledge out there that I hate. Like put your snake in a different, container when you feed it, or like when you get a snake, the first thing you should do is put it somewhere and leave it alone for a week. I put a snake in a tub, let it warm up. I offer it a live meal, and it eats.
Really?
And then
that's what I was gonna say, because you hear everybody say, "Leave them alone. Don't try to feed them for a week."
Speaking of that, the OD Pied, the male that we got. Remember, we got him on Wednesday. We had a pup on Friday, and I put it in there, and he smashed it.
Yeah, that's. I'm telling you, it's just a lot of old knowledge. Because so I've been sort of in the reptile community since about 1997. So kind of grew up around animals and everything. And it's the knowledge we had back then was a base knowledge that we used on other species that we had to apply to the Python Regis because we didn't know any better. We didn't have that experience. We didn't have the trial and error know-how like we do now. Okay, now we know that these things do better in tubs and tanks.
Right.
Yes, it's very important. Whatever the previous owner did is pretty important. But with that being said, being in the Army, I've moved every 2 years for the past 10 years. I've always taken my snakes with me, and I've had to always change the way I do things.
Right.
And as important as it is for what the previous owner did, your snakes will adapt. It might take about a year or so, but your snakes will adapt. 100%. It's just there's stuff we still don't know. There's a lot of old knowledge out there, and people follow the old knowledge, and it kind of screws them over.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
And that was like our thing when we first got into it, like being in Facebook groups and watching videos.
I know.
Dude, I tell you what, like there's so many nasty, angry, unknowledge people in Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I mean, it is bad. And then like people jump on you for I did 2 years of watching videos and trying to learn before we bought our first one.
It's good.
Like just trying to, and I'm no expert. I know nothing, obviously, you can tell. But like, I still feel like I know how to keep a snake enough to keep it alive. We've only lost one snake, and it wasn't by either one of our doings. So,
yeah,
like, just some of the stuff that the people come up with on
hate book. That's
yeah,
right.
right. Like
It's
it is
book.
bad. Like it is really bad.
Yeah, I have a Facebook. I don't even use it though.
We have our personal ones. That's it. We don't have any for B&H. We do not have one.
Yeah, I have a personal one that I don't use. That's it. That's it, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
we used
yeah,
a couple little groups, but it was just like it was almost exhausting because of all like the negativity and like how nasty everybody was to each other, and that included like the people that were in charge of the groups.
yeah,
Like, it's just like, isn't this supposed to be like fun and
Right.
nice? It's not fun. It's not nice.
a lot of stuff. So the best group I was ever in, I think, was actually called Ball Pythons for Sane People, and that was actually probably the most beneficial group where people would actually share their knowledge.
Right.
And other than that, dude, for me, it was trial and error, and I figured it out myself. But I learned a lot of like anatomy, biology, genetic science, herpetology. I volunteered at an exotic animal clinic specifically to learn about reptile medicine.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, like, I'm the guy that everyone calls when they have an egg-bound female. Because I'm, like, the only dude who's ever, like, put it out there that, like, I have taken needles.
Right.
I have put them in my snakes. I have imploded the egg and palpated them out.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
I'm bad at doing that. I have ADD, so like if I get something in my mind, like I gotta say it because I'll forget.
Say it, dude. Say it.
I saw Kevin McCurley's video the last couple of days when he was working with Jeremy's retic with the egg-bound snake and pulling the albumin out and stuff. Like that's got to be tough to do and see. Like you have to know or learn how to shut yourself down. Because you can't be like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're such a beautiful snake. I'm so sorry. I gotta stick this needle in. You have to just do it because it's for the health and welfare of the animal. You have to put the emotion aside and do what needs to be done to save that animal. And like snakes, they can't express love or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're gonna hate you for doing it. It's not like a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or a cat. Like, they're not going to be upset with you for taking them to the vet or sticking them with a needle. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
it's gonna piss him off a little bit, but
Oh,
he'll be
yeah.
all right.
Yep.
You know, there's hey, feed me, clean my poop and pee and shed,
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, like, and that's about it, man. That's all they care about: food, copulation, and that's like it.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
leave me
much it.
alone.
I mean, that's as simple as it gets, right?
Yeah, and so I try to put a lot of that good new base knowledge out there because a lot of the old knowledge is,
That's what this community needs.
yeah, I know.
And that's what I like, not just, I mean, I'm not saying, trying to ride anybody's nuts or anything, but like Billy, he'll tell you anything that if it's beneficial to help you, whether it worked
Yeah.
for him or not, like he's going to tell you what he's tried.
Oh yeah, no, Billy's good people. There's a lot of big breeders that will absolutely go out of their way to help you. You know, like Justin's pretty good about it. Billy's like really good about it. Daniel Allison at Constriction Addiction,
Mm-hmm.
he's pretty all right about it. MJ from Mike Juarez from MJ's Exotic Cartel,
Mm-hmm.
he's always like pretty jolly on the spot with his messages.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of
few
people
of his
that'll help.
I've watched a few of his things and, just send him quick messages, about, just his stories and stuff. Like, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, MJ's, we're going to get him on our show.
I'd like to get to a point to where we can meet some of these people,
Dude, just go to the NARBCs, man. Go to the NARBC shows.
It's tough, with the kids
I
and
know.
work and taking off. And she just started a new job in January, so she doesn't have leave. And so.
Yeah, so then your first goal, because I'm gonna put it to you like this. You can build a building, fill it with a whole bunch of Freedom Breeder and ARS racks, put a $5,000 plus animal in each tub. But if you're not networking,
right,
or putting the effort into your brand as much as you put into your snakes, you're selling yourself short.
Right. And that's what I feel like we're doing with these. Like,
this is great.
People we don't know at all to come on, talk, have a good conversation, and then hopefully somebody else will know our name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make a friend at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. Networking is like true education. Like when you go to a show and you meet people, it's not who you're buying from as much as who you're spending your money with, as much as who you're hanging out with, as much as who are you going to have dinner with?
Right.
Who are you going to make dinner plans with after the show?
Yeah.
Because that's who you're going to sit down with and talk with. And you're going to get there. If the show stops at 5 or 6, you're going to get to dinner at 7. You're not going to leave dinner until that restaurant closes.
Right.
And you are going to learn so much from listening to those people talk. Like, it's crazy, unbelievable stuff that now to me is like common sense that I didn't know coming up, and I just learned by shutting my mouth and paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then went back and tried it, and it, I don't even like something I talked about yesterday. I was on the keeper's corner yesterday, and something I talked about was, males have 2 hemipenes.
Right.
So when you put them in with a female, there's this subcaudal ventral scale on each side by the spurs. And when they unlock and you pull that male out, if you look at his vent, one of those scales will be missing because it's folded in.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So that's from the hemipene that he used retracting back in. So it'll actually tell you which hemipene he used during copulation.
Really?
Yeah. And that's something like you don't even...
No, I never even knew. I just noticed that I could see one spur better than the other.
Yeah, it's a scale by the spur.
Right.
It'll fold in. And people don't think about that. Or
That's wild.
Yeah. Like you should definitely. So like every time before I put a male in, and as soon as I take them out, I pop them because hemipene health is important.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've never seen a blown hemipene, Google image blown hemipene ball python, and that'll show you what a blown hemipene looks like. And
how can something like that happen? I'm sure it's probably gross. But...
overworking your male.
Right.
Because one male can, I mean, I've heard crazy numbers. I've heard of people putting one male to 17 girls, and I would not recommend that.
No.
I mean, the most I usually do is like 5.
Right. That's what I was.
Yeah, 5 or
people
6.
say like 4, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
around there at the most.
And I mean, if you got a veteran male who always eats during breeding and he's big, like even 7 is okay, right? But you can overwork that male. And I would say 17 is not even unrealistic if you have the ultrasound, because the ultrasound really helps you preserve your male. You know,
we're gonna have to get one of those eventually at some point in time.
Oh, that is such an investment. That'll pay for itself in the first year.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Like, dudes will go from putting their girls. I think the first time I ever bred ball pythons, I put my male in with my female like every Monday.
Yeah.
Every Monday until she produced eggs, and then I learned like, okay, I'll put them with her, and then I'll give them 3 weeks off. I'll put them with her, and I'll give them 3 weeks off. And then with the ultrasound, it's like, okay, where are her follicles at? Is she even growing? So now that male may see that girl 1, 2, or 3 times tops, and that's it.
Right.
Wow.
And you know, if a male has say 40 locks in him per year,
mm-hmm.
and you know that's over 10 girls he can breed safely.
Right.
So that's just, you know, not overworking your male, lowering the chances he blows a hemipene, keeping him on food, extending the longevity of your breeding season. And if that's a powerhouse male, like,
right,
dude,
yeah,
it's so, and that's the kind of stuff you don't learn
unless you're doing it.
Yeah, or you go to the show and have the dinner,
and like
right.
people who are doing it.
And like we have an orange dream female that we were pairing our pastel disco male to, and another one, we got that male through a raffle. We won him in an auction. Yeah, which was pretty cool. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And the female, she started bowl wrapping, and so I was like, oh, it's November, so let me just start pairing them. And so I paired them like 6 times, and she's never laid a freaking egg. And she's still just pounding food.
Yeah,
but we don't have a ultrasound. I mean,
she could. Where she is in her cycle.
Right. So either she reabsorbed or she was never building to begin with.
So if she's bowl wrapping, primarily she's cooling down, right? For bowl wrapping. It could just be normal thermal regulation, or she could be building.
Right, which I didn't know. Like, I knew they thermoregulate, but I didn't know that they would bowl wrap to thermoregulate. So I'm saying, it's November. Oh, she's wrapping around her bowl. She's probably building. Let me pair her. And she was locking with him. Yeah. And I thought I felt follicles, but I mean, it's my first year. I don't know what the hell I'm feeling for.
So it's hard to say unless I was like there myself, you know, checking out the girl. But typically, if she's slamming food, she's locking with the male. I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone else. Is the male eating?
No, not now. He hasn't since January.
I'd probably try and get him back on food.
Yeah, I stopped pairing him. Just leaving him alone. I'll soak him once a month or something. Since January, we've done that. And then I'm trying Da Vinci Boa. I give that to the females, especially the one female that just laid in February. She's getting it. No, she laid in March.
Yeah.
Beginning of March. So she gets it, and then the one that's not eating is getting it.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to give it to the male just to see if it'll help him at all. But I noticed he hasn't lost any weight. he looks skinny, but he hasn't actually lost weight. He's still 940 grams.
So there's a fine line between body condition
Right.
and proper weight.
Right.
So males should be what I tell people. You don't want big males, right? There is a myth that big males are lazy. Big males won't breed with you. That is a myth. I know people with males that are really big, and those males do work. But primarily, you want your male to have an athletic look.
Right.
Long, slender. Your girls are going to be a little thick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to be a little thick.
Right.
And that's okay. They need those fat reserves during follicular development. So your orange stream girl, it is just as hard on a female to grow follicles and reabsorb them as it is for her to actually lay a clutch of eggs.
Is it really? I didn't
Yes. So she probably wasn't building,
Mm-hmm.
but so something you can do to entice building is you show her the male. She could lock with them, she could see him and not lock with them, whatever. Ultrasound her, a month later, and she could be building.
Right.
If she's not, cool. Give her a month, try it again. And that's where you're going to find that female cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably thermoregulating, and you probably have started her cycle, because some do start in November, yeah.
Right.
But a big part of breeding is barometrics.
Right.
Barometric pressure. That's why people say pair when it rains, because the barometric pressure change. The rainy season in Africa is in April.
Right.
So now.
Right.
Right. So if
she-
she's slamming food and locking up,
Right.
that's a good sign.
Right.
Then if she's stopped slamming food and is still locking up, that's even better.
Because that's when she's really building and really
Yeah.
growing.
Because now she can't fit nothing through her body because
Right.
her follicles are in the way.
And I've noticed she is spending a lot more time going back and forth between her hot
Good.
and cold spot.
Good.
Like,
So
I'll check her in the morning when I get up and she's on the hot spot. I'll check her 3 hours later, she's on the cold spot. I'll check her when I get home at 10 at night, and she's back on the hot spot again. Which I know that's what snakes do, but she's doing it more than some of them usually do.
Yeah, so I mean, if you feel like that male is still all right, once a month, throw him in there.
So he locked with her 6 times between November and January.
Mm-hmm.
January was the last time I paired them. But I don't know how he is because he's not eating.
Yeah. Well, go off body
That's what
condition.
worries me a little bit.
So my thing is body condition, regardless of weight. Body condition is what I always use.
Yeah,
I always have.
He looks skinny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He looks skinny.
Then I say, quit pairing him, get weight back on him if you think he's too small.
I mean, that's from what he looked like before, and then now he just looks like he's gone down in like size, like just his thickness has gone down a little bit.
But he's probably longer because he hasn't lost any weight.
Right.
So he grew.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's typical of what
because he has
males
gone
do.
through a shed. He did shed like I don't know a month or so ago.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's just tough.
It's on you as a breeder.
Yeah.
I always tell people, don't be impatient. It's better to wait.
Yeah.
Now, if you have another male, you could throw that girl.
I
Go for it. And
I don't want to use that Puma male. I don't really. I mean, I could. I mean, I may try it. I just don't. I don't know. I have some other things that I would like to do with that orange string female. Because we have an OD pied male, visual pied male, that I would like to try to make super OD hets with.
yeah, I would do that. I would do
But
that.
he's still got to grow up.
Yeah, he still has till next season before he'll be ready. And then I have a Calico Fire male that I could use in a couple months.
So here's the other thing is, You might not even need to put a male in there because she can just retain that sperm
and lay at some point in time.
do it. Yeah, do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't over. So this is what I tell people, right? Don't overthink it. You can show them the mail and you can show them the food. If they want to go, they're going to, and if they don't, they won't. And Interstellar Reptile said, "What if they are pounding food but stop walking?" Max, what I just said.
Yeah.
You keep showing them the mail. You keep showing them the food. If they want to go, they will. And if they don't, they won't.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, they're still wild animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got instincts. You know, they're gonna do what they think is right.
Yeah,
but
man.
I learned a lot this season about really offering females a lot of food before right before the breeding season starts.
Yeah, get that fat on them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, fat reserves help feed follicles. It'll help them bounce back a lot better.
Yeah.
Post lay, I think. Yeah, they always. If they're a little chunkier before, they usually bounce back a lot better. And
yeah, that female that laid, she ate the day after she laid.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was awesome.
I fed her myself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It's so. I mean, the average success rate, even for like people who are full time, is about a 50% thing anyway. So if you have 100 breeder females and you're pairing all of them, you should expect to have about 50 clutches. That's a good season.
Mm.
If you have 100 girls and you get 50 clutches, that's a good season.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
That's, just because you have 100 girls doesn't mean you're going to get 100 clutches.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so what your Orange Dream girl's doing is pretty normal.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're new and I'm impatient. That's
patience is going to be your biggest asset in this game. And I know it's everyone's issue. Everyone is like impatient. They want to get their feet wet. They want to cut those eggs. They want to establish their hatchlings for the first time. I promise, be patient, because if it'll make things better.
Yeah. I've kind of relaxed a little bit lately. She's trying to throw me on the bus.
I mean, I'm still impatient. I was looking at this pewter bamboo clown clutch in the incubator. All right, I cut that on the 20th.
Yeah. And
I'm just looking at the eggs
that's what we're doing now with our eggs. I'm like, all right, so you got 30 days.
Yeah. I got that clutch, and then I got a fiery yellow belly spot nose clown clutch.
Oh wow.
9 days after that one. I have a yellow belly lavender clutch 9 days after that one. What's that? Oh, that fire clown clutch just laid 2-3 days ago.
Right.
So I got a while.
I can't wait until I can say we've got clutches like that in the incubator, really nice clutches. I mean,
7 years, man.
Yeah. I mean,
7 years, man.
It's gonna take time, and where's your standpoint on holdbacks? What do you consider? What would you consider a holdback? Okay, let me rephrase that question. If you were us, we have this clutch, we're not 100% sure what's going to come out of it. Would you hold anything back from it, or would you just try to sell it? And put that money back into something that we could really use.
That question is too breeder dependent to give you a straight answer. So for you, from what you've told me, hold back all the females you can, but that's space dependent.
Right.
Right. So you told me you're tight on space. So do you have the space? Do you have the food availability? Are you breeding your own? Are you still buying? How many tubs even space dependent is also a very relative term, because I feel like I'm space dependent still. I need I need a warehouse for what I want. So that question is too variable straight up. So
Like we could fit another hatchling rack and another grow up rack in there. We got sea serpent racks. I like them.
yeah, Chris is a good buddy of mine.
Oh yeah,
I love Chris.
we have the V16, the 16 tub V18 rack for hatchlings. I bought a bunch of FB5 tubs to make more room for hatchlings.
Yeah.
So I have in that rack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 snakes in that now. And then I have, I guess, the next step up rack from that, which is like 9 racks. I have 3 in that. And then I have a 4 rack adult female with 3 in that.
Okay. So it's not so much what you can handle now. It's more like, what can I hold back and raise from here to adulthood?
Right.
And that's still just step 1 because you're going to breed your holdbacks. So you then have to think, if I hold back 3 girls on average, let's say they give me 6 eggs, that's a whole nother 18 mouths to feed in a couple of years. So it's for when you're tight on space, it's rough.
But within the next year, we could be in, we'll probably have our own house where
Yes.
I can build a shed or, something like, I'll probably buy a bigger shed, or if it has a garage, just build a room in that garage to make it work. So then I'll have more space.
And here's another thing that'll dictate your holdbacks. Project dependency.
Right.
So Spark, vanilla, possible yellow belly, could be super Spark. So now you got something in the yellow belly complex. It could be allelic. That's a great backup male because it'll never throw you a normal if it proves to be allelic or super. That's
Right.
a great backup male. So I just hold that male, period, just in case.
Just for anything.
Exactly. Just for anything.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
He's tired.
So, yeah, it's no big deal. So, yeah, that's a great male to hold on to. As far as females, I mean, here's what I'll tell you about females, regardless of what kind of female it is. Like, I even got a proven breeder normal female in my rack right now. Like,
oh, yeah, I'm going to keep that normal that laid them 7 eggs. That's
yeah.
for sure.
On paper, it never makes sense to get rid of a breeder female. So, like, let's say fast forward 7 years, like you've been doing it as long as me, and you've kept every female you've ever produced. Do you need them? Absolutely not. Will they turn you a profit? Absolutely.
Right.
But no one also wants to go on your morph market and see a sausage fest.
Right. Right.
So, it's if you have a powerful female, so let's say you get a Spark vanilla, keep it.
Right.
Keep your girls that are 2 genes or whatever. You don't want to keep no males. Just
right. Just because there's really nothing I don't need it for anything. I have more powerful males.
Yeah. And to be honest, if you don't have a project for Spark vanilla or yellow belly, sell the whole clutch regardless.
Right. The only if I get a yellow belly female, I may keep it just because I want to do the ODYB Gene X pie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I have the and see the problem is like I have an OD pied male, I have a pastel Gene X 100% het pied male, so like it's like 5 years before I can even start mixing those together, or 6 years.
Yeah, I would say.
No, it doesn't matter. Like I don't know what I'll run into later down the road.
I would say keep all the girls, sell all the boys, and if you ever find yourself not needing those females, you can always sell them.
Right.
But buying them back is a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't even I mean, I bought quite a few snakes this in 2020, but I don't think I'm buying anything in 2021.
Right.
I'm producing
You're
too
producing everything.
much. Yeah, I'm producing so much. It's like,
Dude, when I was messaging you a couple weeks ago, and I was like, so what projects are you in? You were like, well, what projects aren't I in is easier.
yeah, it's like
That's gotta be tough, man. It like me, I have a hard time keeping track of like with G's, like, but I am new, so we are new. It's a little harder, but
you'll see what you can handle. You're gonna hit a point where you're like, okay, this is it for me. Like I'm in. So as far as genes, I'm just gonna go with recessive.
mm-hmm.
Okay, as far as genes, I work 7 recessive genes.
Jeez.
That doesn't mean I'm in 7 projects,
Right.
right? So I bought into Desert Ghost before everyone thought it was cool. So I have like a lot of Desert Ghost stuff.
I thought we got a pet Desert Ghost female that's 900 grams that I'm gonna try to.
There you go. Hell yeah, dude.
And I got her for $200.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot of head DG stuff this year, but like it's okay. So I have Desert Ghost, Lavender Albino, Clown Pied. Obviously, those are both needed. Xanthic, Puzzle, and Monarch are my 7 recessives. So as far as projects, I'm working DG Puzzle, DG Clown, DG Pied.
Yep.
Right. Monarch in it as itself, because Monarch is new.
Right.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, that's probably the most expensive snake in my collection right now. And I have visual breeder Desert Ghost girls, and I would still say my Monarch is the most expensive snake in my collection.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
It's nice. I've only seen, of course, I've only seen pictures of it.
Have you ever seen Ultramel?
Yeah.
It's like that, but better. So this is Monarch.
Wow.
So if you go on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of the Monarch, and it's the most visually accurate picture I could ever get. But like these are like maroon. Like I know it looks brown on camera, but this is like a red, like a maroon red.
Wow.
And these yellows are like highlighter bright, and they are as clean as a Desert Ghost. Like you can see there's no speckling in those alien heads.
Yeah. Really?
It's 100% clean. So this is a pastel Monarch.
Wow.
And
your pictures on Instagram, by the way, are awesome.
Yeah.
Like I love how they all have the black background.
It took me a long time to get good at photography.
And then before that, they were like the white background, right?
Yeah.
And now they're black, and I think that's awesome.
Because it helps them stand out. The black really makes colors pop.
Yeah, so one of the things you're going to learn is you have to be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
In this industry. So you'll have to learn about carpentry, building your own racks. Everyone does it. I didn't start with ARS and stuff. Right. I started with melamine, homemade, self-built racks. And then I moved to PVC, and now I'm at metal. I still have some PVC. You can see there.
Yeah, I might build another another female rack like I have for the FB40s. The real long.
There you go.
We have a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, one that holds 4, but I wanted 5. I want to build like another one to like put on top, or like just do it.
Stackable, that's where it's at. It's always better to build up than out.
Yeah.
So like you have to learn carpentry. When you wire the heat tape, you gotta learn electrical. When you want to take pictures, you gotta learn photography. You gotta learn marketing because you're doing this as an actual business. You gotta learn business. You have to learn genetic science. You have to learn about herpetology, biology, environmental science, even meteorology to an extent if you really want to get into the nitty gritty. So you have to be diverse.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's a lot of education, a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm not naturally talented, so I try to focus on one thing at a time. So like I just got good at photography.
Mm-hmm.
So, and before that I just got good at marketing, and before that I just got good at carpentry, and I just did one thing at a time, and now where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it's like, but Monarch, Monarch in itself is a project. I think I've only seen it with Enchi, Black Pastel, Mojave.
I bet that's pretty nice looking. A
Yeah, the
Mojave.
Mojave one's good. Calico. That's it.
So is Monarch like its own thing, or is it like?
It's a recessive gene.
Oh,
Like
okay,
pie.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's its own recessive gene. So Monarch is.
She's doing good at trying to learn like the recessive and codom and what it takes to make it and stuff. So she's doing really good with that.
Yeah, God, I need to put out a video because everyone always tells me to do YouTube. I have the simplest method for teaching somebody that.
Right.
The method I call it is the magic number is 2. Right? So, pied, right? If you breed a pied to a normal, you get a clutch of normals, but they're all het pied, right? That means they carry 1 copy of the pied gene. But every visual pied carries 2 copies of the pied gene. And that's how you determine visual and het.
Yep.
Right? So a pastel.
I explain it, but I try to get technical with it just because I was a car mechanic for 16 years, so everything gets technical.
Yeah.
Comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, I feel you. No, it's good to learn it the right way anyhow, but like a pastel, right? Has 1 copy of the pastel gene and 1 copy of the normal gene. So if you breed a pastel to a normal, you can get normals and pastels. Right? Because the magic number's 2. If you want a super pastel, it needs 2 copies of the pastel gene.
Right.
Right. So if you breed a pastel which has 2 copies of the pastel gene to a normal, which has 2 copies of the normal gene, no matter what, that normal is going to pass on a normal gene because that's all it has.
Right.
The pastel is going to pass on the pastel gene because it has 2 copies of it. That's all it has. So a normal gene and a pastel gene together give you a pastel.
Right.
And that's how I explain it to people. The magic number's 2.
Yep.
You need 2 to be visual.
Yep.
Like that's the way it works, man. And so until you get to, way more, that's the basics. Then you get into alleles and what it's like to be allelic and how.
Yeah, that's tough. And I'm trying to learn and it's tough for me because I want to make these snakes and all this stuff, but I don't know. I'm really trying to learn when you mix certain genes together, what does it make or what will it look like? But with me, I'm a visual learner. I have to see it.
Yeah.
I can't look at it in a picture because it doesn't do me any justice.
Okay, so this is my advice to you then. You pick 1 gene. Enchi. Enchi's a pretty common gene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look at Enchi and go on Morph Market and just type in Enchi and look at Enchi and what it does in combos. So don't think of what does this combo look like.
I got you.
Think of what does Enchi do.
In that
it kind of lightens the color. It bands the animal some. So you have an orange dream, right? You know what an orange dream looks like.
Right.
All right. Let me see if I can reach this one. I'll pull my headphones out. Maybe. Okay, so here's an orange dream with Enchi, right?
Okay.
So it bands the animal
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. The sides are the top is a little dirty, but the bottom's super clean. Right. And so it sort of just affects the pattern and the color slightly. The eye stripes, they don't connect to the neck pattern. They just come straight down right there.
Yep.
And they widen a little bit at the end. And so that's what Enchi does in Orange Dream.
Yeah.
So you just take each gene individually, look at what it does, and you say, okay, I like what this one does. I like what this one does. Let's put them together and see what that looks like.
Right.
And that's how the best combos are made, man.
Just doing it.
Yeah, I just want to see what that looks like. That's the thing. Pastel lightens and fire brightens. When you put them together, you get the firefly. and you're like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Right.
Just the interaction between the two genes, and just seeing what it looks like, and it's like, dude. So, as a visual learner, just look at the gene and what it does in a combo.
Right.
How it affects the combo.
Yeah, that would probably help a lot.
Yeah, because that's how I plan projects. Is I don't think like people just, I don't know. I see people just throw snakes together, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to take puzzle. Puzzle's a great recessive gene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if you look at what Ozzy does with puzzle, of course he has Orange Dream in it, and Ozzy has a certain look to the snakes he makes. Like if you look at a snake, you're like, oh, that came from Ozzy because it's bright, it's popping, right? But puzzle, even though it's a pattern mutation, takes to color well.
Mm-hmm.
So very few genes age good with pastel, right?
It ends up dulling them out, and they
in the long run,
brown almost.
Yeah, Desert Ghost ages really good with pastel.
Mm.
Monarch does as well, and so does Puzzle. So these are genes that can take, even though they're pattern genes, they take to color well. Puzzle's a pattern gene. Same with Cryptic. It takes color. So I want to put OD, YB, NG, Gene X, Fire, Vanilla, whatever, into Puzzle to lighten and brighten. But now once I have this clean, beautiful, bright puzzle, what do? Spot Nose Leopard. Get that pattern all jumbled up, right? Contrast it out. And then bam, double recessive with a Desert Ghost, right?
And like with us, we're just gonna have to put the time in to learn these things and learn
it sucks.
What works.
And that's one thing though that I really like about doing these lives is like with you, for example, we've learned like 5 new things tonight. We've been on here for like an hour. Like we learned so much stuff from just talking to people, and that is like amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome. And like I always really appreciate like
I have to
learning stuff.
I will be back in like 30 seconds.
You're good, dude. I'm gonna go.
He's so bad, dude.
Oh, you're good.
I'll wait till he comes back and then I'll go.
You can go now. I can entertain.
You're gonna entertain everybody. I hope I can get my fat ass out of here.
My God.
Oh shit.
Okay. What's up, everybody? If y'all have any questions or anything, please comment and we will answer them. Sometimes it's hard to get these dudes to hush, but I will get it out there. And we will answer.
But yeah, that's about learning new stuff. I mean, that's why I said like you got to go to shows and you got to network and meet people, because that's how you learn. And listening to their experiences and mistakes are so helpful.
Right.
And there's new stuff like Will Moreau's, with Royal Canadian Reptiles. We were visiting someone the other day and put out a video. This guy like keeps the pieces of the eggs he cuts in a little bowl of water in his incubator. So if he pulls his eggs apart, he pulls the eggs apart after they laid and they pop, they just uses it as a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
and like, that makes so much sense.
That's genius.
Yeah,
knowing what I know about biology, it's like, how did I not even think about that before?
Moshballs asked, what state are we in?
We're in the most horrible state in the world, Maryland.
Oh, I was going to go with Pennsylvania, but that's pretty close.
Oh,
yeah, it's we hate Pennsylvania.
I also hate Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I do. I'm from Pittsburgh, but I'll never go back there. I hate it.
Like, we see people, they're like, oh, we're going to go to Ocean City in Maryland. And I'm like, why?
Why?
Right.
Yeah,
like,
why?
Let's come to Maryland. Like, it is freaking horrible. But
Maryland's old. A lot of old stuff there, too.
Yeah.
It's real.
I mean, if you're
historic.
into like historic stuff, it's cool.
It's
but
not terrible. It's just kind of like pricey to live in.
Yeah,
Maryland.
it's bad.
Yeah. So I was just telling someone this yesterday. So the whole like upper right portion of the U.S., where the 13 original colonies were, everything up there was made in the 17, 18, early 1900s. It's all still there.
Yeah.
So everything's old, it's decrepit, it costs a lot of money to upkeep.
Yep.
But the cost of living there is high. And so are the taxes. So why are you going to pay taxes that are way too high for stuff that is way too old? Like you're paying more money for a lower quality of life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, moving to the South was like the best choice I ever made financially.
Where are you?
Well, right now I'm in Oklahoma because the Army says so, but at the end of the year I'm going to move to North Carolina. I'm getting out of the Army in like 2 months. I'm getting medically retired, yeah. So I was a paratrooper for my first 8 years. So I was jumping out of planes and, taking care of terrorists, just getting them out of the world. That's what I did. Well, then I broke my back on a jump, so they sent me here, and I just can't wear body armor anymore.
You can't carry the weight anymore.
Yeah, I can't do the stuff a combat soldier is supposed to do. So, oh, no way, you're at Fort Bragg? That's dope, dude. I actually just sold a house outside of Fort Bragg because, Fayetteville sucks. but it's always good to own a house outside of a military base because people are coming and going always.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, my brother did that.
Yeah, it's smart.
He rents his out though.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I rented it out, but I'm buying my forever home, building my facility, literally so I'm building like my house long ways. Oh, right. There we go. I'm going to build it long ways, and then I'm building a building here, here, and here.
Oh, wow.
Attached to my house. So I have a courtyard in the middle, right? And this side will be for the rats. This side will be for the snakes, and then this side will be like admin storage.
Right.
I'm going to have FedEx bulk pick up all my snakes. I'll have them bring the rep to chip there.
That's
pretty
small
print shipping labels and all that stuff. Then my house will be the bottom piece. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
He's going to move in with you.
Yeah, right?
You don't want to, man. Trust me. I got the two young girls are too loud. Like, I know they tell you not to shake them, but
add 3 other kids to that.
Right. Yeah, I got like we were saying earlier, we have 3.
Yeah.
It makes it tough. And like that's like being new in the hobby. Like I want to network more. I want to get in more lives. I want to talk to more people. But it's tough when you have 3 kids that want to spend time with you. I need to spend time with my fiance. I've got, you know what I mean? So it's tough. And I work 1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, damn.
And I work 7:30 to 4. So like.
Right.
Damn.
So when I get home at 9:30, 10 o'clock, like I'm tired.
Yeah.
And 2, I'm spending time with her. So why? I don't want to. I don't want to take the time away. So it's tough.
The balance is really difficult. Something I said on the live yesterday, the Keeper's Corner, because they asked me, they're like, "How do you do it?" I was like, I wake up at 3:45 in the morning. I go run, come back, shower, change, and then I go to the gym.
Right.
So I immediately,
do that.
That's
no,
crazy.
I'm just
dude. So I go to the gym and I try to be at the gym by 5:45, and I try to be out of the gym by 7:30, and then I'll go to work. Right, I'll get to work at like 9. I'll work till like 11, and then I come home at lunch, and I take care of all the hatchlings, and then I go back to work at 1, and then I work till 5, and then I come back home from work at 5 or 6, and then I take care of the dogs, and I take care of the rest of the snakes, and then it's family time, and then, I'm asleep by 11:30, and then I wake up at 3:45.
That's crazy.
I tried to be asleep by 11:30.
Right.
So
that's crazy.
Something I said was, I don't sleep when I'm tired. I sleep when I'm done.
Yeah.
like 100%. If you, it's like how bad do you want it? Like that's what it boils down to is, how successful do you want to be at that? Because I wanted to, I've been in the Army 10 years.
Wow.
I wanted to make this my full-time job. The moment that first ball python came out of that egg, I wanted to make this my full-time job. And I was like,
I told a guy that a few months ago. We were in this and we were talking to a guy about some stuff that didn't work out at the time, and maybe it will, later down the road. But he was like, where do you want to take it? And I'm like, well, I want it to be my job because I hate my freaking job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I got that first snake out of that box, I didn't understand snakes before and I didn't really like them. But when I got that first ball python out of that box, it was just something like, this is what I want to do. This is it. This is what I think I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, man. And it
cool though, some, wives or whatever, they don't understand it. They don't get it. But what's cool is that she wants to do it all with me.
Yeah, having that backbone, I call the wife the backbone of the household for real. Like, and I love my old man. I do. That dude has given me such great advice through my lifetime. But my mom is truly the pillar. Like, that holds everything.
Yeah.
Holds everything up, right?
So that's how I hope my kids see it. Like, dad's the boss, but mom's.
Yeah, mom's the backbone. That's what I say. The moms are the backbone. So to have that backbone there supporting you is so clutch. Like I'm a one-man show.
Right.
That's it. Like I got a girlfriend who's a crazy lizard lady, and she does her own thing, and that's straight. But she'll definitely help me with all this. But like the photography is me, the marketing is me, the cleaning, everything is me. This is my thing, right? So if you get off work at 4, right, and you get off work at 9, what's happening between 4 and 9 with the snakes? And then what's happening between 9 and when do you start? 1? You say you work 1 to 9?
Yeah. See, now that's now in the morning time after I get the kids up. Now, mind you, I get the kid. She helps get one up and takes her to school, just make it a little easier because I get the 11-year-old up, get her on the bus at 8:40, 8:30. Then I get the baby ready and get him to grandma's. I come back, and that's when I start my spot checking, my spot cleaning. I like to hold all the snakes. I just like them. I like to hold them. You know what I mean? I don't want, especially like when we have hatchlings, if somebody's going to buy one as a pet, I want them to know that it's been handled a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not like one of these type of breeders or keepers. She's the same way. We want to hold them. We don't want to just sit them in a box
and like we only have 16. You said you have 220 something, isn't that what you said?
Somewhere around there.
So
that's a little easier.
Once we started getting up to like 10 and over, it's been harder.
Yeah.
Especially like holding each and every one of them, every single day. Like at first we held them, especially the ones that were more like chill when you hold them. We'd hold them for like 20, 30 minutes each, depending on if they, were acting like they wanted to be out and about. Some of them you can tell they're trying to get away.
Yeah.
But now that, we're only up to 16 and it's already like, tough. There's no way we're going to be able to hold each and every one every single day or even every other day. And I can't even imagine with 200 plus.
Oh, yeah.
So it's something I used to be just like you guys, 100%. Now, something I learned over time is you don't have to hold them as often as you think for them to be socialized.
Right.
I probably pick up my snakes once a week. And I'm not saying there's a one day specifically where I go through and hold all my snakes. It's like, no, I'm probably going to pick up each one of my breeders or holdbacks once a week. Now, as far as growing out of the feisty phase, right, your snakes are going to come out of the egg with a prey mentality because in the wild they are prey for
Right.
other animals. So babies are really nippy, like really nippy.
I haven't been bit yet, so I'm preparing.
You're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You're gonna when that first touch hatches. You're gonna.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm not like scared of it. I don't know what to expect. I know it doesn't hurt, but it's like, do you want to get bit? Like, I'm sure it hurts a little bit, but
no,
I don't want to get bit, but
it doesn't hurt, and I don't want to get bit. So, boa constrictors don't have fangs; they have recurved teeth. Baby ball python's teeth are so thin and fragile that if they bite you, like a lot of the time, their teeth won't penetrate your skin, but their teeth will break off out of their mouth and be stuck in your skin, and you have to pull it out like a splinter.
Really?
Yeah, like it doesn't hurt. Your
Right.
skin's tougher than
Remember when
teeth.
Buckeye got bit in the face?
I do remember that.
That was like when we first started.
Oh, I was about to say that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Kenny got bit like in the eye and he had to go to the hospital.
And they were talking about it. I almost got tagged in the face by
2 nights ago.
The banana mail that we had. And it was my own dumbass fault. I pulled his tub out, and like the way I was holding it, I was like looking over it.
Oh, so it's again the predator prey thing, yeah.
So like, not only am I a hot ass surface, I'm over top of him.
And you're this big thing, yeah.
Yes, and like, he's feisty a little bit, but dude, like, it was here, like here.
So
and I was like, whew.
It's so funny you said that was a banana because this girl I used to work with, her sister wanted a snake, so she sends her to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I have this banana for sale. It's like a year and a half ago, and I was like, and this banana was so good. It's never struck at me. It always ate, such a good little snake. And I take it out of the tub, and I'm holding it, and I'm like video chatting with her, and I'm like holding it. I'm like, yeah, this thing's like never struck at me or anything, and it bit me right in the nose. As soon as I said that on camera with this girl, and you know what? She bought it.
Really?
She bought it right then and there. But yeah. So it's getting bit isn't bad, especially when it's by a baby.
Yeah.
Adults kind of are a little more like you will bleed.
Oh yeah, they're stronger.
Yeah, but it's still not bad. The food bite is what really sucks. So I breed my own ASFs, and I have for 6 years. So I've only ever had one food bite. I open this snake, or I open the tub, and I go in there to pick this snake up. She gets me on the thumb and then wraps everything. Ooh. And so that's the food bite. They don't let go.
Right, because they think it's food.
Yeah. So I just started undoing her and got her to the jaw hinges and wiggled it out and left her be, and she was fine. But
I mean, I guess because I'm sure once it happens, I'm going to be like, really? I was worried about that.
It's psychological.
Yeah.
It's more like every time
ever wants to get
bit, I'm still like, you little bastard.
Yeah.
It's psychological. It's not painful.
Now, I think I did get bit by the GHI Pastavi we had. I was going to put a rat in, and she hit my fingernail. Now, I don't know if it was her teeth or her lip.
Okay.
So that was the closest I've been. And that was putting a rat in her tub.
It's not bad. So whenever I hatchlings are always real nippy. They're going to bite me a lot. I already know. But they grow out of that. Like somewhere between like the 300 and 500 gram mark, they grow out of that and they aren't nippy anymore.
Really?
So even when I sell a snake to somebody, they're always like, what's its personality like? Do you handle it off and all this other shit? They get the snake and they're like, oh, it's so tame. It's so nice. It's so chill. I had one person say oh, I could tell you handle your snake so often because it's so relaxed and socialized. And I was like, nope.
Right.
There's just a certain time where they grow out of the they go from the prey mentality to the predator mentality. But I get where you're coming from. I love to hold my snakes. I do.
Yeah.
The cleaning day is my favorite day.
Yeah. I'll just hold them when they're small enough, I'll just hold them in my hand and clean their teeth out. And
Yep. Yeah, I love it. Just putting them around my neck, dude.
Yep.
And
I'll do that with the bigger ones.
Yep, going to work. It's my favorite thing.
And then I'm catching myself. Oh, too tight.
Yeah, I've been like my peripherals start to go black, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
tie a little bit,
Yeah.
take a breath or two, and then I still leave them up there. I don't care.
Didn't you get one? Have one do that too? Not too long, like a few months ago.
Damn.
And it's just like, I think I can take it. And I'm like turning red, and he's like, I'm gonna help you with that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I don't know. I love it. I love holding them, especially like the project animals. You know, we were talking about projects. So like, I have so many animals where I'm like, I can't wait to see what this and this look like. And sometimes I just hold them next to each other,
Just
trying to imagine the combo. Because I have a lot of stuff that like no one's
going to expect.
Well, yeah, they might expect it, but it's never been done.
I
So I don't know what it's gonna look like. Because
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Just don't know. That's the best part. Is like
That's exciting.
Yeah.
it's really cool. Like I don't think I have anything crazy right now. So I'll show you something. Everyone thinks it's a spider. It's not spider. I don't have any spider in my collection.
We had one, and that's it. That
So-
like if I looked at it, I would think spider.
Yeah. So that.
Back.
Do you see the? Hold on. Man, this is really hard to do. Wait, there, that way. Okay. So on the top of the head, man, it's like two little alien antennas.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm trying to get it to where, right?
Yeah. That's
So it
pretty-
does have a little head stamp there and sort of a mustache. Right now, the side pattern isn't exactly spider.
No,
It's something crazy,
that's wild.
and it's pretty yellow.
Yeah.
And the dorsal is like almost totally clean.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have,
It's just like a solid yellow line,
yeah. So
and it's
this
a little bit brighter than the side pattern.
it is, yeah, it is brighter on top. So this came out of this funky dinker spot nose to fire combo clutch.
Huh.
I have no idea what this is. I have no clue what's in it, but I'm really excited to find out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Is that a female?
That is a female, unfortunately. So that's the other thing is, unfortunately, if I ever buy a snake, I typically, unless it's something wild, it's going to be a male
Mm-hmm.
because I have so many breeder females
Right.
that it makes sense for me to buy the male and grow them up for a year and put them to a girl.
Yeah.
So unless it's some crazy female that just like takes my breath away, I'm only buying boys, and right now I'm not buying anything.
Right. And I think like with us, like, you know, I was saying it's frustrating we're just buying hatchlings or babies or whatever, but like you were saying before, we have to go through them stages of growing them all up.
It's I know I said earlier about like you don't be impatient because everyone's impatient. Enjoy the journey.
Right.
Like that's like watching your snake grow. Especially when it's like a girl. The best is like when you hatch a snake and it's a female and you grow her up and then she produces a clutch for you and then you sell one of those snakes to somebody.
Right.
And those people grow that snake up and then breed it to something and make something epic.
Right.
And then you
You're
buy
like,
back one of your grandbabies.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
One of your great grandbaby. Like that's like
That'd be
that's
cool.
the cool shit
Yeah.
right there, man.
Cool.
Have you had the opportunity of doing that yet?
No.
No.
I could have many, many times. But I just I am a boutique breeder of designer morphs. That's what I tell people.
Right.
I like to keep my collection very tight.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by boutique is not only do I buy a gene or a project or make a combo, but I like to pick the best example
Mm-hmm.
of the morph I can. That's what makes it boutique.
Right.
You know, you want it to be like a Gucci bag or a Prada or whatever. So this is a pastel xanthic. Like
I love
extinct.
Xanthic.
Yeah, this is just, everyone thinks this is Firefly or Super Pastel. This is just a single gene pastel xanthic.
Wow.
And this is me taking the best looking pastel and the best looking xanthic that I could find and putting them together and
Oh, wow.
breeding back. So that's another thing is when you hold stuff back, hold back the best example of the morph. You know, people always want to make a world's first, and that's cool, but having the world's best is way cooler.
Yeah. So you produced that one yourself?
Yeah, I made that one.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it came from, and so yeah, this is the female it came from, and you'll see this female is, she's an xanthic, right? But she is really silver.
Yeah.
Like this is single gene, really silver,
Wow.
and the dorsal is super duper blushed.
Yeah.
Right, so this
It's
is the
so pretty.
This is the best looking single gene I could find. And so I bred her and then held back and then bred back. And now I have that incredible looking animal, but I wouldn't have had to do that if I would have just bought the best example right off the rip.
Right.
You know, so I like to keep my collection. Now, when I say 220 snakes, I don't mean 220 breeders. Right? I mean, I also have snakes growing up, and then I'm going to sell breeders, and then they will be replaced with the more
Right.
powerful animal, right? But I'm project specific.
Mm-hmm.
Like I work like my collection's very
Specific.
yeah. Like people want to do breeder loans, and I'm like, I can't. It's not that I don't want to. I can't give something up.
Right.
Because every snake in my collection, like how you said earlier,
has a purpose.
Yeah, it has a purpose. You said you had snakes you don't know what you're doing with,
Right.
stuff with. I mean, I run this like a business.
Like
so,
we have Calico Fire male. Don't know.
I mean,
I
it's
got
a
it
cool looking snake, I bet.
Oh yeah, I'll get him in a minute. I got this other one I want to show you. And,
Yes.
and what's another one? Like we're really not sure what to do with. The Calico Fire. I have a cinnamon het pied. I just got it because it's het pied. Female. That's 400 grams.
So that's not bad, but do you have a vision for the Cinnamon Pie project? Because okay, that's a problem. Because I don't buy something
Unless you know what you're going to do with it.
unless I can see myself working with it for at least 10 years.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That's longevity. Yeah.
But like I could always find like another cinnamon or like a black pastel pied male for that. Cinnamon het pied female.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, because then you'll end
Yeah,
up with a wobble or they won't work.
Yeah, they'll all be all kinked out and fucked up. I'm trying real hard not to swear on your channel.
Oh no, you're fine.
Such a bad mouth, dude.
No, you're good.
What do you got though? So show me what you got.
So this is where's the camera?
See, that's hard, huh?
Yeah, supposed to be just an OD. I'm trying to show his little head.
I was gonna say it's a pretty orange looking pied.
Where the hell's my camera?
Mhm.
So he is not cooperating. Look at his little head stamp.
Yeah,
And he's supposed to be just an OD pied.
I'd say that's right.
But like I showed him to a couple other people and they're like, oh man, I think something else is in that.
I think it's just low white.
Right.
So that's the thing is people. Oh man! All right, I am a true genetic scientist.
I'll be right back.
So I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't really want to confuse you because I know you're still learning. But ball python genetics are not correct. Like ball python, the way we see things and say things are made that way specifically for the market, right? So when you see something different in a snake, that doesn't necessarily mean there's something going on. There could be. There very well could be. But it could be a polymorphic difference. So, you could take two normals and put them side by side and find differences in both of them.
Right.
That's your phenotype, right? It's phenotypically different. So polymorphism is just like the same gene, but higher or lower expression. So that pied has a piebald pattern. Like a piebald pattern. But there's definitely OD in there.
Right.
I think it's just like you have a low white OD pied and it just
Right.
looks really good. Like you got a really good example of the morph. Like
Right.
I said earlier with the Xanthic,
Yeah.
buy the best example the first time.
I got him from Mike Porter.
Porter's good.
Yeah.
I like Porter. Check that out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love that.
So here's that Calico Fire.
Yeah, see? Cool looking snake, dude. But what are you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wasn't where we?
I have the Enchi Vanilla female, if she would eat and get size that I could put him to, which would be cool.
I think Enchi Vanilla and that OD, I would plug him into both of those.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to say.
and that's what I was gonna
orange
do.
green.
So I might, if she finally next season gets eating and gets up to size, I'm gonna put him to her. But I want, if the OD pied male's available, then I want him to go to the OD female to make possible super OD heads.
Yep. So let's get back to your cinnamon het pied. So what you need to do is you need to look at cinnamon pied stuff. And of course, you're just going to see this cinnamon pied.
Right.
But you need to see what do you want to do with that, right? Because cinnamon pieds are not dead. It's not like it's a dead project or whatever. Cinnamon pieds look good. And you already have a het female growing up. So I wouldn't sell her or anything. I would just be like, actually, I would just grow up and put that OD pied male to her.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too.
Oh, yeah. That's what I would do.
OD and cinnamon look like together.
They look good. They look really good together. I think OD and YB with cinnamon and black pastel look really good.
Right.
Do you follow 46 and 2?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, what the hell's his name?
Yeah, I don't know his name,
He's
but
gonna
I
kick
know
my
who
ass.
you're talking about.
So he makes some beautiful yellow belly black pastel clowns.
Mm-hmm.
46 and 2 pythons. Damn man, he makes some good shit. But yeah, so that was William. There you go. Yeah, William's awesome, dude. He's a great guy. His account, he had a huge account, and it got deleted, and so he had to make a new one. It's probably a lot smaller now, but he makes, the first time I saw him drop the yellow belly black pastel clown, I was like, oh man, shut up. That is
I have an opportunity.
sick.
I have an opportunity to get into the clown project. It's only just a single gene clown male. I mean, it's like $300 shipped, and it's 900 grams. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
If you want this to be your full-time job, you need clown. Okay.
And that's why I'm thinking about doing it, is because the way the hobby's going, the way the ball python business is going, is clown. Everybody's want clowns.
Oh, dude, it's been that way for years. So, ball python breeders are a slave to the clown. That's what I say. We are a slave
They're
to
beautiful.
the clown. So, yeah, it's the most versatile mutation in the game. So, let's say you discover a gene, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got new gene. We're going to call it gene A. You put gene A with calico, blackhead, OD, YB, Enchi, fire, all this shit.
Right,
It looks
and it all looks good with
it's
everything.
popping, dude. You put it in clown and it looks like shit. it's worthless.
Right.
Straight up, like
Right.
that's just that. Like if it looks good in clown, that's gonna dictate the gene's value. Seriously, like clown is just so good, dude. If I could, man, buy a single gene female, clown, it'll be the best investment that you'll ever make. 100%.
I'll look for a female too. I just like it with the male. Like I can't like the guy's just like giving it to me. You know what I mean?
$300 for a male clown shipped is about average.
Right.
I would politely tell him to fuck off.
And then look for a female.
Yeah. Be like, thanks, man. I'm sorry. But people who want to be breeders, it's my advice to them when buying snakes is, unless you got girls that are already a year old,
Right.
don't even buy a male.
Right. It's just not pointless. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you can breed. Like if I got 5 girls and they're all breeder size, that's when I'll buy 1 or 2 males.
Right.
Because that's like it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I have so many breeder females. I only buy males now, and that's why, because I have so many breeder girls. I have that ability. So imagine if you said you had 16 snakes. Imagine if they were all girls right now.
Right.
And in 1 year, you could buy 4 just powerhouse males. So now you have 20 snakes. You chilled for a year.
Right.
You grew those 16 girls up for a year. So now your overhead cost long term is actually lower.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you buy your 4 powerhouse 6 months to a year later. You breed them out, and now you have, let's say, 8 clutches on the ground. Say half those girls go. So now, in a shorter period of time, you're producing more animals. You can sell more, and you've made your money back.
Right.
Quicker.
And it sucks not hearing it, but not knowing that sooner.
Okay, dude, I did it too. Everyone does it. Everyone just buys a bunch of males, and they end up having to sell all their males and buy girls. Like,
but
literally everybody does it.
I feel bad for selling, snakes that I bought from somebody else because I thought I could use it. But I guess that's the name of the game. I guess that's the business.
We're all flippers.
I just
no matter what people tell you, we're all flippers.
I feel like if I'm not going to say who we get certain snakes from, but it does like if they see their snake for sale, are they going to be pissed off at me for selling their snake?
If they are, they're not good businessmen.
Right.
Simple as that. Dude, it's like anything else in life, okay? Not everyone's going to like you.
Right.
And you're not going to like everybody. And I'm sure I have haters out there, but no one's had the nutsack to come say it to me.
Right.
I'll tell you that, dude. No one has ever been an asshole to me ever before.
Right.
But there are plenty of people in the hobby that I do not like.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
And I'll tell you. And actually, there's only 2 people I don't like. There's a lot of people I wouldn't do business with.
I got you.
Doesn't mean I don't like them.
I got you.
There's just 2 people that I don't like personally, and that's not business. That's personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying the person you get your snakes from was just selling you a snake for a paycheck, but like you said, that's the name of the game, dude. You got to sell the snake. So if they see their snake for sale, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck, bro?" Be like, "Look, dude, I bought this snake. I thought I could use it."
Right.
It doesn't have a place in my collection. If you want to buy it back, let me know. That's
right.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
If you want to buy it back, let me know.
And I'm at this point now where I think I have to do that with a couple things.
I mean, dude, everyone does.
Yeah.
Literally, if you go, do you listen to Snakes and the Fat Man podcast?
I have started listening to a lot of his podcasts when I'm at work.
Yeah, Chris Eaton's awesome. So if you listen to, and I'm sure you know who Miguel is from Always Evolving Pythons, right?
Yes.
So if you listen to, I believe it's Chris Eaton's podcast with Miguel. I'm not 100% if it's Chris Eaton's or it's MJ's. But in one of those podcasts, Miguel says, in the beginning, no one told him shit. So he bought all these snakes. And then when he started talking to Justin and figuring stuff out, he was like, oh, man. And he had to start flipping snakes.
Right.
And it's not like that snake doesn't have a value. It just doesn't, like that snake you have in your hand right now.
Right.
Let's say you can't use it. That doesn't mean that someone else can't.
Right. And like and like this is probably one of the ones that's got to go.
Is it the fire calico?
Yeah.
I like that snake.
Right.
I'm not saying I want to buy it from you because I don't, but
right.
I like that. So, okay, let's say I didn't have calico in my collection.
But I like calico, but I don't.
It.
But right now, with where I'm at with the pieds, I don't have the use for it with what we're trying to work on right this minute.
So since you have that one male pied, if I were you, I'd be buying a whole bunch of female hets. I'd buy female calico het pied, female whatever, 1, 2, 3 gene girls that are het pied. That's what I would
buy.
buy.
This one may just have to go.
Yeah. Unless you want to use it to, do, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it.
Exactly.
Unless it has a use. If it doesn't have a use.
Right.
It's like you're okay. Let's say each one of these little tubs is an apartment. So I own this apartment complex, right? If you ain't paying rent, you gotta bounce.
Right.
Like
right.
later, nerd.
Right.
Like I don't know what to tell you. So, let's say that I don't have calico, but I like calico. I could purchase that male would be a great purchase for me because I could plug them into 5 girls,
Mm-hmm.
and I have 5 clutches, all with the potential to increase my calico game.
And like he'll be a good snake for somebody because he's over 400 grams.
Yeah, and a few
He'll be
months
ready to go this season. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to rock and roll this season. So, I mean, that's on you, man. That's up to you guys and your collection.
But then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, it's my pet, but I can't look at it as my pet. I gotta look at it as my business.
It's your business,
Right.
and you can love your animals, dude. I do. There's so many like snakes that I sold that like I was like, dude, I was literally just keeping them because I thought they looked cool or I really liked them. But I was like, it came to a point where like, okay, I have holdbacks that I need to move up in tub size, and now you're taking this tub up. Like, yeah, I know I'm not going to breed you. You're just chilling.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have a purpose. You got to go.
Yeah.
And it's a sad reality, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, it's a reality. And eventually it gets, it's like anything else, it gets easier. The more you do it, the more you ship snakes, it gets so much easier, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna go put him back. I'll be right back.
And again, when you minimize your collection, and everyone does it, even big breeders, there's a year that will come where they just sell a lot of stuff. I know last year Freedom Breeder did. Freedom Breeder sold a lot of their breeder girls, a lot of their breeder size females. Skell's Exotics just jumped in there from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We were just talking about PA earlier. But
Hey.
yeah, right. Your overhead cost goes down. So let's say you clear out a whole rack. That's less electricity you're using. For every snake you sell, that's one less mouth to feed.
Right.
So your overhead drops. You know? So it sucks to look at it as a business sometimes, but that's how you have to have that business sense to be successful. You guys are already on track. You have a good looking logo, and you're on YouTube and you're on Instagram. And that's like the first thing you have to do.
Yeah. We're trying. Oh,
It's hard, man.
and like YouTube alone is like, it's so tough. Like Instagram, it's kind of like it does its own thing. You don't have to do too much on there. YouTube is a lot of work. And like it's worth it, and like it's been fun doing these lives, but since we've been doing the lives, we've slowed down a lot on like our actual videos. And then we do make videos and people watch 3 minutes of a 10-minute video.
Right.
And it's just kind of disappointing, but eventually I guess you get there. But
yeah, it takes time.
I mean, right now we're at
357 subscribers.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it a year. And you see some people have been doing it a year and they've got 3,000 subscribers.
But that's why you don't compare yourself.
Correct.
It's about the algorithm.
Sorry, boss.
Yeah.
No, it really is. It's about the algorithm. Like, you got to do a lot of research on the.
Yeah. It's all thumbnails. Your thumbnails got to be catchy. Your title's got to be really catchy and drag.
Your title's got to be searchable.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
It's a
Like
lot.
if someone wants to Google or someone wants to watch a YouTube video to learn how to treat a ball python for RI, ball python, respiratory infection, like.
We have a good one where we're talking about mouth rot.
That is good.
Which we didn't end up having a snake with mouth rot. She ended up cutting it and it got infected. Well, not really infected. It had like a scab on it, and we thought it was mouth rot.
Yeah.
But that one's got like over 800 views.
Yeah.
Just on a regular video.
And it was pretty much just like us at the vet talking about, well, we were sitting in our car because COVID, but us at the vet, like talking about what's going on and what they ended up saying and what the treatment was going to be.
And then when we got home, we showed us cleaning her mouth, and that was it.
Yeah. It's because the title was searchable.
Yeah.
People want to learn about that shit.
And then our collection updates, we were doing them every month, and where we would just record us weighing them and saying what their weights were, and people loved them.
We haven't done one of those in like 2 months. Those are my favorite ones to do. I love seeing how big they're getting, but like the same thing as with like holding them, it gets to be a lot to weigh. And we only have 16.
Yeah.
But
like, do we really need to weigh all of them and see what they're all at as long as they're all eating, Yeah,
it's pretty much the problem children you have to really worry about. If it's not eating, okay, right. I want to weigh it. Why is it not eating? What can I change? Breeding, yeah, I weigh my breeder females. I weigh the clutch after they lay. You weigh the clutch and you weigh the girl. I mean, there was a time where I was even weighing, and I'm glad I did it back then because I have the knowledge now, but now I can just do it up here and I don't need the scale anymore.
Right.
I used to weigh the rodent and then I would record, my snake ate this big of a gram rodent. Here's the last time my snake pooped. Here's what it weighed. This is how many rodents it ate. This is how much each one of those weighed per gram.
Technical with it.
Yeah, because I wanted to see the growth of my animals.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Wow.
It was when I was switching over from rats to ASF where I really wanted to see the difference.
Yeah.
ASFs are way better.
You think so?
I know so. I have the data to prove it.
Right. I mean, even though, like, are they bigger than, they're not as big as regular rats, but there's more, like, I guess the content of them is better.
So I'll give you some good knowledge right now that, like, no one talks about. I'm like the ASF guy in the United States, I think, because people are always hitting me up from other countries about ASFs. I think I've been breeding them not longer than everybody, but I've been breeding them pretty long.
But you can't, I mean, like, we could get them from you frozen if we wanted to.
Yeah, I ship them frozen and I sell live. It's just a pain in the ass to ship frozen right now because with COVID and stores still being shut down, dry ice is not considered an essential thing.
So it's hard to get.
Yeah, so I can't get it, so I can't ship them.
Yeah.
But
we got lucky with the guy 15 minutes away that breeds rats.
That is good. Yeah, I used to feed only rats, and I went to ASF when I started learning about other things. So one of the things I started learning about, biology, right? So everything from the gut, the intestines, the digestive enzymes, what processes through the liver, what processes through the kidneys. So the African soft fur, its bone density is less than a regular rat, but hair is made of protein.
Mm-hmm.
They actually do have a higher protein content than your Norwegian rat. Norwegian rats, however, do have a more fatty content, right? So you can take what you want from that. So if you got a snake that needs to put on body fat for health reasons, feeding a rat might not be so bad.
Right.
But if you want your snake to gain weight in a healthy, lean way, ASFs are a good source for that. Their fur is also thicker. Now, the gut, right? This is the big thing. This is what everyone fails to see. Everyone sees the size of the rodent,
Mm-hmm.
or the color, or the scent, or whatever it may be. It's not about the prey item. It's about the way the stomach of the animal works. So the ball python in its gut has specific digestive enzymes made to break down the African soft fur because it's its natural prey in the wild.
Right.
It's like eating healthy, right?
So that doesn't go away from being domestically bred.
Correct.
Because no matter what, its makeup,
it's its physiology.
Right. Yeah. Physiology.
Right. So it's its physiology. So it eats the soft fur. The particular enzymes, right, break it down. They filter through the liver and then get into the bloodstream. And then through the bloodstream, they're taken to the organs and the muscles and everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in humans, okay, people are not ever going to believe me. You guys need to do your own research. Humans are not omnivores or herbivores or carnivores. We are called frugivores. Fruga with a G, frugivores. We have canines. Yes, right? We have canines. But our canines are not so big that they're protruding like a carnivore's. These are made for breaking nuts, shells and nuts open, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have flat teeth made for grinding and front teeth made for cutting. Our guts, our intestinal tract is long, which is common in herbivores.
Right.
We have weak stomach acid, which is common in herbivores, right? That's why when you eat meat, your body can't break it down really well. So your body dumps a whole bunch of stomach acid in there.
You feel
and that causes heartburn. And then it pulls calcium from your bones and puts it in your gut to break down all that leftover stomach acid. And that's what causes osteoporosis long term, right? So
that's like my brother will probably have that because all he eats is cheese.
Yeah. So then we have the
no offense, bro, if you ever watch this.
We have the what is it, the gallbladder that everyone gets removed because it's so useless because we don't
I don't have one
anymore. Yeah, see?
Mine got removed.
Humans are adapted to be able to eat meat to survive, but that's not our actual natural food source, right? So when humans eat healthy, we eat right in the way we're supposed to, our skin looks healthier, our hair is better, right? We overall look better. There's I don't know who posted it, but someone posted two pies next to each other, and one was fed rats its whole life, and the other one was fed ASFs its whole life. The one that was fed ASFs aged better. It was brighter, yeah. And they were clutch mates.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So that just goes to show right there. And if you go on my Instagram and scroll back maybe, what was it? Maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half, I have this big clown girl I produced, and I showed her clutch card, and it was her birthday. So she was 1 year old. And at 1 year old, she was almost 1,400 grams.
No shit.
Fed nothing but ASFs her whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Problem with Davis, he doesn't produce that many.
Right. Yeah.
And
he has the person we get our rats from, he has them as a just in case kind of thing. Because and we've even bought
an ASF from
one from him, hoping that our vanilla
female would eat it, but she won't.
Yeah.
That's the she. By the way, she's vanilla, the one that won't eat.
Like I said, move her around a couple
No,
levels.
yeah, we're gonna do that.
She's just a good female. That
My mind will be blown if that works. By the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, what the?
But
hell?
like we moved her from one tub size, and we had bought one rack that we didn't need. It was too big. Put her in a different size tub and a different rack, and she still wouldn't eat. She's done that twice now. We went from one tub to another tub to another tub. She still won't eat.
I do have snakes that I put in tubs that are too big for them with a hide. That also works pretty well.
If you had a hide, it still wouldn't eat. Like that's just like I'm doing all the things.
we gotta try that
I've
moving up
learned.
and down thing.
You know? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta try change. What up, Brewer?
That's the first time I've seen him on one of our lives. That's pretty cool. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
It's because I'm here.
Oh yeah, of course. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
Is
it's
this
all
the
good.
is this the most viewers you've ever had at once? Or
Huh?
no? Not that good.
It
No.
might be.
We've had, what are we at? 8? We had 15 at one time when we did it with somebody. I forgot. It was one of our first ones.
I don't remember.
I don't know who they are, but them bitches ain't nobody.
Right.
No, I'm just talking shit.
Oh, no. It's all good, bro.
Yeah, no, but yeah, try moving the levels. That helps like a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely try. I mean, I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah, bump the temp up a little bit. What else?
Now, like,
Change
you say bump the temp,
substrate.
like bump the room temp or bump the hotspot temp?
Hotspot.
Okay.
So something I do when I establish my hatchlings. So okay. When I had my first clutch, I could not find a video. I still can't find one. I bet there's one that's not out there on how to establish a hatchling.
Maybe
Like I was like,
maybe
how do I like, get them to start eating after their first shed? When do I offer them their first meal after their first shed?
Right.
Like no one, like I didn't know any of that shit. And dude, basically you just throw a live in there and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, dude. So it was like a lot of trial and error, and I was like trying to figure all this shit out. I have no idea where I'm going with this point right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, it has something to do with tubs, tub size. Oh, temperature.
Yeah.
So something that I do,
Took me a bit.
because a ball python's metabolic rate actually begins at 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and autoimmune response begins at 90. That's why the recommended hotspot is 90.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my hatchlings at
That
92.
enclosure just to be sure, like her tub. That's a good thing. For me
Yeah.
to double check her hotspot to see what it's actually at.
Yep,
And
I always
I
temp
don't
cut
know
every
how.
day.
I guess I can pull the tub out and check it real quick because it'll still be hot.
Yeah, no, that's something I do every day.
Yeah.
I take my temp gun and temp the hotspot every day.
And that's
Of
just
all of
something
them.
I need to do
Wow.
as a better keeper. You know.
It's a preventative check.
Yeah.
But so I keep my hatchlings at 92 because they come out of the egg, they have that yolk, it's a full belly. At 92 degrees, of course, they'll shed about 7 to 10 days later. They're going to be long, slim, but they're going to be hungry.
Right.
They're going to be hungry because that temperature is that little bit, that couple degrees higher. So their metabolic rate's working, right? So that's, I throw a live little ASF in there and they'll figure, I leave it in there overnight because it doesn't have teeth. I can't hurt them,
Right.
So I come back the next day, it's gone. If not, try
Right.
again next week.
Right.
Well, 5 days.
Right.
Hatchlings I feed every 5 days because that metabolic rate is a hatchling's metabolic rate's already faster than a larger snake.
Oh yeah.
And with that temperature bump,
Because
it's
they don't have
even
this much-
faster.
Is it because they don't have as big of a body to feed all that food to, or?
I have no it's because they're growing still.
I gotcha.
They need the nutrition for the growth, just like a human
Yeah.
kid. So that's so I keep that temp a little hotter because I want them to be hungry. I want them to eat. Right. So bumping up that temp, moving levels and bumping up that temp just that little bit, it helps.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna double check it just to be sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I just and like I was telling you before, for people who didn't hear, we've been doing it not even a year yet, so we still have a whole lot to learn. And
Dude,
a lot of
I
lessons.
still learn. I learn every day, man. Like that's the best part about this is if you're someone who likes to always have something to look forward to, this is for you.
Yeah.
Because it never stops feeling new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know.
that is true.
Yeah, there's always a new gene, a new combo.
Yep.
Like something new to chase.
I just gotta get out of that phase of stop worrying about if I'm selling a snake or not. You know what I mean? Even though we like it or whatever, it's nice. But if it ain't working, if it don't work for us, just get rid of it.
Yeah, man. I told you my collection is specific, very project oriented. Like I don't even know how else I can. That's why I'm not buying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have everything I want to make for my projects. It's you know,
Yeah. And then there's really no point in buying more.
Right.
Because you're just going to make more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the best part about once you're here, not even here, a couple years ago, I figured this out. Let's say I got a project I'm trying to hit. I breed my two snakes together. I get a whole clutch. I don't hit my project. I don't hit the goal animal.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say I do hit the goal animal. It's not the gender I want. Sell the whole clutch. Take that money. Buy that goal animal.
Mm.
That
makes sense.
Yeah. That's just where it's at.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that way you can produce more of what that goal is.
Exactly.
To go to something else, to make more than the next step from what that is.
Yeah. Or even if there's been times where I've hit the goal animal as a female, and I'm like, shit, dude, I want that as a male. I need that as a male. And I just keep that female still because, again, on paper, it makes no sense to sell a breeder female. So
Right.
I know in just a couple years, that girl's going to be worth her weight in gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told you get a single gene clown.
Right.
Well, once you have that female clown and she's a breeder, your possibilities are limitless. Even like if you suck it up and buy for $500 a female clown now.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like sell the stuff you don't need
Hold
and
on,
use
hold
that
on.
money.
Let me do this, boss. Can we just go ahead and do that?
The backbone.
Right.
The backbone. But I'm
Right.
telling you, because all right, let's say you do that, and then in 2 years, a Batman, so the spot-nosed leopard clown, that's a pretty expensive snake.
Yeah.
In a couple years, let's say it's still a little over $2,000 or whatever. If you bite the bullet and buy that as a male and put that to your female, that's a Batman, which is a visual clown, to a female visual clown. There's no way you can lose money on that clutch.
You're gonna make more than what you spent on that one snake.
Exactly.
You could triple what you spent.
Yeah. So from a business perspective,
That's the part we
why
need.
wouldn't you?
It's like
That's
smart.
the part we need to learn is the business perspective of it. When
Yeah.
it comes to, yeah, you're spending a little bit now, but 2 years from now we'll make even more. And that's what I try to like explain to her sometimes.
It's an investment.
that.
Yeah, he's talking.
But
to
like
me.
she doesn't but like she's like, well, I don't want to spend $800 right now. But like we have it. Let's go ahead and do it because in 2 years that 800 is going to turn into 4,000.
Yeah. It's an investment.
Right.
So
But like I'm just like but I'm just
It's-
trying to, like I get why she doesn't want to spend it, but I don't get why she doesn't want to spend it. Because like to her, she's not going to have that 4,000 next week or next year or for when the next bill comes. But it's going to end up coming and will be sitting good when
so
it
everyone's wife, and this is the same. This is literally the most cliche situation in the reptile industry because everyone's wife is just like the look you have on your face right now. Same look, same shit, dude. And then once they start seeing the return in 3 years, they're like, oh,
Right.
oh, all of a sudden there's $25,000 in our bank account.
Right.
Because like I said, you buy the 16, like if all your snakes were girls, and you suck it up and you invest probably, let's say, between your racks, your snakes, let's say you have 16 girls plus all your racks, and then in a year you buy 4 males. Let's say you're 20 grand deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big number, $20,000. That's a car.
Yeah.
But when 8 of those girls go, and then you sell those snakes,
that's 40.
Yeah, that's 40.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you have to wait to get that 40 grand. But then guess what? Every year, because those girls,
it turns 40 into 80. That 80 turns into whatever. You know what I mean? It just the number.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's.
I mean, it depends on the year.
What I'm saying is, you only have to grow up a female once. Once she's breeder size, she's breeder size for life.
Right.
So it sucks waiting the 2 to 3 years to see that money return. But when you do, every year after that is potential for that monetary return.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only have to grow that girl up one time.
Shut up. You're so annoying.
It's the truth. I have a female clown. She is over 4,000 grams and a little over 6 feet long. Huge. Just dropped me a 13 egg clutch. That girl, I paid $500 for her at a show like a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Best investment I ever made. Because the first year I bought her at $500. She was maybe 400 grams, single gene female. I grow her up and then I buy a banana clown. Okay. This was back when they were really expensive.
Right.
What do you want to know what I paid for that?
Oh, I'm sure you probably paid like $3 grand for that male.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
I think 28.
Yeah.
2,800. I got a deal 2,800.
Right. But see, like she sees that as like, oh my God, that's so much money. I do too, but I already can think of like what your next number is you're gonna say.
Yeah. So I breed them together for no other reason than I want to hold back female clowns to increase my clown arsenal. And that's exactly what I did. And then, so I think I held back 2 female clowns, one of which was the one in the video I told you about earlier. It was like 1,400 grams at a year old. And then I sold 4 banana clowns for $2,500 a piece. So all in all right, let's do some quick math. All in all, I spent, let's say $4,000, because we're going to take into account the tub that they lived in, the reptichip, the food, the electricity, the water, the deli cups, all of it. All in all, roundabout, between the 2 snakes, feeding them, growing them up, the easy hatch tray, and the fucking the incubation substrate, even the incubator, $4 grand. And I held back all the females, sold all the males, and profited $6,000.
Stop looking at me.
She gets so mad. She hates when I do that. But that's the point I'm trying to get across.
It's an investment. And now...
Thank you.
Sorry.
And now that girl,
You should be a salesman.
Right.
Well, I'm not trying to sell you shit. I'm telling you the truth.
No,
Now you also have to understand that's best case scenario, because that girl could have not gone for me.
Right.
I could have had to wait a whole another year. I could have shit out on the odds and hit all banana clowns. Sure, that would have been great money, but then I don't have any females to increase my arsenal, which was the goal to begin with. Because the more females give you eggs, females are where the power is. That's where the money's at.
Right.
So,
all right, Mike, take it easy, buddy.
So like, it's an investment. And that's how investments work. You put in money, you wait a period of time, you get money back. But this is not just an investment in your animals. You're investing in yourself, because you have to do the research. You have to buy the equipment. you're the breeder. You put in the work, right? You are your best employee. You know why my photographs look so good? Because I learned photography. I put in that time. I put in that work. And those photographs go on my Morph Market. People got their stimulus checks. I don't even have snakes for sale on Morph Market. Like, because they're just sold out, man.
You're
People got the,
and that's how I would like it to be. I would like people to see a picture I post on Instagram and buy it before I can even put them on Morph Market.
Dude, if I cut a clutch and I put the clutch cutting video on Instagram, if I don't say in that video, please do not inquire about these animals, they're sold.
Right.
Like,
I believe it.
That's that fast, man.
Wow.
I have an incubation room, and when you walk into my incubation room, on the right side of the wall, there's just a shit ton of sticky notes with people's names on them.
That are already pre-sold.
They're sold, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
And dude, that's how it was even my first year producing. Like, all I had were pastels and normals. I didn't keep anything. I sold them all.
And that's probably what I'll do with this one, unless we get like a female or something wild comes out. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what the female really is or what he really is. So something cool could come out, and I may keep one female and then just sell the rest and just use that money to go into something else.
Yeah, exactly.
To go towards other stuff.
Yeah, your infrastructure is your next thing.
Yeah.
Like racks. Like, that's your next thing.
We have the 2 sea serpent racks, and that's probably with what I'll stay with for a while.
I always recommend sea serpents to people because, one, Chris Nettles is a great guy. The dude who owns it. He's a buddy of mine. I got his phone number. Chris is a good people, man. For real.
Yeah, we
met him at the
Battlefield Expo.
Oh, up in PA.
Yeah.
I didn't think he went all the way up there. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Good man, though.
Trailer with him and everything, and like we talked to him for a little bit. I told him I had just gotten a hatching rack, and like he sold me the last rack up from that one for
our males,
for male grow ups and stuff.
Yep.
And like he was like, dude, I'll cut you a really good deal on it.
Yeah, Chris, he stands behind his product because it's a damn good product. I got a whole bunch of sea serpent racks right over there. I'm looking at him now, and he's a good guy. He'll help you out. Awesome customer service. They ship quick, and like they're legitimately a good product.
Oh yeah.
And you get your bang for your buck.
They seem really, really good quality.
Like the thermostat barely clicks on because it turns on, and then it goes up a little bit before it goes down. That's how the temperature's held into it.
Yeah, it's so good. Like I couldn't say enough good things about sea serpent racks. That was the first cause I bought so many different kinds of racks.
Yeah.
I've had tubs melt through because there was bad heat tape, and I've had snakes get out because the gap was too big, and I mean, I've bought all sorts of shit. Sea serpents was the first PVC rack where the temperature held good. None of my snakes got out. None of the tubs melted through. They're really cheap.
And they even have incubators for pretty
cheap,
good price.
Yeah, good prices.
They're
they're good prices. And we made our own from a Coca-Cola machine, an old Coke machine. But I'm realizing now how much fluctuation that has on it.
Do you have a fan in it?
Yeah, I have the original fan that came in it that sucks air from inside and then blows it back down the back.
Oh wow!
And for some reason, our air conditioner went out in the house, which sucked. But
it was really warm. It was not this past week, but the week before.
It seems like with how it's sitting, if the temperature in the house goes up 2 degrees, the temperature inside the incubator goes up.
Okay, so I did my first one out of a mini fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Worked great. I now have the biggest, I don't know what size it is, but it's the biggest hot box incubator that Chris sells.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell people all day, as far as infrastructure goes, that's the best money I've ever spent.
Yeah. And I was telling her, next year, you know, if we get some tax money, I'm getting a sea serpent incubator.
It's the hot box is such like my friend left. So there's like 2 latches on it on the top and the bottom to shut the door, and I guess my friend like was doing something in their snake building, shut the door but didn't like latch it, and woke up the next day and went down there, and after all night of the door being open and everything, it was still at 89 degrees.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so good, because you don't want to like pair your snakes, go through the whole thing, get a clutch of eggs, and then they shit out on you in the incubator.
That's what I was worried about, because like the temperature run up real high, and I'm like, oh, these eggs are fucking toast. They're done. Like I was like, that's it. Like we're getting 1 clutch this year, and like I'm really excited. But like, you know, after it happened, I let them, you know, chill for a while and put a, you know, flashlight on them, and every single one you can just see them moving around when you put the light on it. So hopefully they're not deformed, but you know, whatever, we learn our lesson if they are.
What temperature are you incubating at?
What?
What temperature are you incubating at?
Oh, I set my thermostat at 88, and inside of, or 89, I mean, and inside it's usually about 89.6.
What are you doing for your egg box?
It's a, I believe it's not a 6-quart one, but it's like a 12-quart, 9-quart one or something, and it has the blue foam around it, and it has vermiculite and a light diffuser.
Okay, cool. What's your lid? What are you using on top of it?
Well, the lid has its own seal and everything built in.
Okay, it's the airtight box then.
Yeah, it's like Billy uses.
Okay. At about day 40, your eggs start to generate their own heat.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll get hotter in the egg box as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's when your eggs, you'll see the
Start
snakes inside are absorbing the yolk and they start to dimple in because of that. So when that becomes the case, I assume the top of your incubator is hotter than the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying with the temperature fluctuation?
Right.
I don't know where your egg box is in your incubator.
You want me to go show you?
You don't have to, but you can move it down if you want.
Right.
That's probably what I would do. Is if it's up higher.
I'll send you a picture later.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's like, you can like add extra shelves in there, but the top shelf that we have in there is where it's at.
It's not all the way at the top. It's kind of like almost in the middle, but not in the middle.
But we could move it lower.
At about day 40, I'd move it lower.
Move it a little lower.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your eggs will start generating their own heat. And then being up top, if it's like 88 up there and then your eggs are generating their own heat in the egg box, it jumps like way up into the high 90s or mid 90s. You want the eggs to cook themselves.
Right.
That's why a lot of breeders will, you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's only 7 eggs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry even too much.
Well, now it's 6 in there. One I thought I was losing because it started dimpling, and so I put it in its own box by itself.
Okay.
With press and seal on it, because
that's what I use.
For some reason, it was just it was deflating a little bit, so I was like, oh, let me take it out. I don't want it to ruin the rest of them if it does go bad. And so I was talking to Bridget from Evergreen. She was like, oh, put it in its own thing and try to see if it'll save it. And it did. It's fine.
Yeah, sometimes if they start to dimple too early, I just dump more water in there. Mm-hmm. That just means or put a new piece of press and seal on, so that means the air is
getting through it.
Yeah, and it's drying them out, so I'll just dump more water in there, put new press and seal on, and a lid, just to be safe.
Yeah. That's how that box is. That's how the other one is. It's got press and seal and the lid on top, the locking lid. Yeah,
that's good. That's what I would do. So, yeah, I mean, that's just something to think about, but I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
What do you say, Brewer? Do you keep your tubs pre-mixed? So I pre-mix everything. Being in the Army, time is my most valuable commodity because my time is not even my own. You know, if I get called right now, I gotta bounce. Like, so what I do is I have like 50 tubs in my incubator, and they're all like filled with hatchite, no water, but hatchite and easy hatch tray right there, and I have the whole roll of press and seal right there too, and I have like a whole workstation in my incubation room. So my incubation room is like the size of a walk-in closet, and on the left side is my incubator, and then right in front of me is like a whole shelf with all my supplies, and then to the right of me is a little table for working space. So I like open up my incubator, pull the box out, shut it, turn around, set it down, put the clutch inside, candle everything, number my eggs, take the press and seal, cut it, seal it, send it. There's also a jug of water in there. I'll dump, the water in there.
Because it's all hot.
Yeah. I have to be jolly on the spot with that shit because I don't have time to waste. Like,
do you do like the weighing to make it like weigh the vermiculite and then weigh the
the water? No. So, man, what was it? Like in like 2002 or 2003, some lady came out with a video that taught the formula to do it by water by weight, but that's extremely inaccurate for a few reasons. I am in Oklahoma. It's really, really fucking dry here.
Right.
So my vermiculite needs way more water than yours does.
Right.
So I never went by that.
But like here in Maryland in the winter, it's dry.
Yeah.
Unless it's snowing or raining, which we don't get much snow. But then in the summertime, it's really humid. It's like constantly 70%, 80% humidity here.
Exactly.
Summer.
So
maybe not.
Those are things you have to take into account too.
Yeah.
So what I do is just the squeeze method. I add water, pick it up, squeeze it. It should clump in my hand but not drip out. And if it does drip out, I add a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's too dry, add a little more water.
Right.
So too wet, add more substrate. Too dry, add more water.
Right.
Now I'm to the point now where I'm just like,
you already know what.
I don't even do that. I could just I eyeball it.
Yeah.
I'm just it's been long enough, but the squeeze method seems to be the most accurate method, and it works like a charm. I mean, every breeder who is pretty successful, that's the method they use. But I don't even do that anymore now. And really neither do they. They'll show it on a video to teach.
Yeah.
But like I think Justin just put out a video like 2 videos ago, like how to prep your eggs or whatever, and he like just put some water in there, and he's like, yeah, that's about right. Does a squeeze test, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like after
so many years doing
clutches,
it.
It's
and like people have so many different like little things they do, and it's like, what the heck are you supposed to follow?
So
like it gets confusing because someone's telling you to do it this way, and then someone's like,
I'll nip this in the bud right now. There's a shit ton of right ways and a shit ton of wrong ways, but there's no one of each.
Mm-hmm.
So like how I just told you, my incubation substrate's going to need more water than yours.
Right.
It's based on location.
Yeah.
So we have to try what works with us, and we have to learn.
Bang on. That's it. That's literally it, dude. It's what works for you. You just have to figure it out.
And the good thing about using like the light diffusers or easy hatch trays is you can add water because the eggs aren't sitting in the substrate.
Yeah, they're up higher.
And I learned this because I was listening to Chad and Billy's on his Patreon the other day. If you add water while the eggs are sitting in the substrate, they'll mold immediately. Like within the next 2 days, they will mold because it's too much water. You can't have an egg sitting in water.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Like it's so porous, they'll absorb all that water in.
Yeah, there's like a fine line. Like people like trip out real hard about getting water on their eggs. So like I said, when it's day 40 and your eggs start generating their own heat, you're going to notice the lid of your egg box is going to have condensation on top. And people always hit me up like, oh, is that condensation going to drip down onto my eggs and ruin my eggs? You can get your eggs wet. I specifically just put water on my eggs.
Right.
Because like I said, the press and seal, I had a clutch, like a lavender yellow belly clutch. The press and seal didn't lock on one corner and my eggs were starting to dimple and getting dried out. I went in there and misted them. They're fine.
Right.
I'm going to cut that clutch at the end of the month.
Right.
All those babies are going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
That is old info again. That's been out there for a long time. But that's out there for people who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
Okay? You can get your eggs a little wet. At day 40, they begin to generate heat due to oxygen osmosis. Right? So your snake is actually breathing oxygen through that eggshell. So you can get a little bit of water on there. It's okay. There's oxygen in water.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's all right. They can absorb a little bit of water.
It's in the
It'll be
beginning.
okay.
Can't get wet.
Yeah. You can't drench them
Right.
in water, you know. And you know, if your eggs mold a little bit, that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's a dark, humid environment. You can still cut them. The snake will be fine.
Yeah.
You just got to really worry about that torrential downpour. You know, you want more of the shell being able to breathe air as opposed to breathe water. It's equivalent to drowning due to that oxygen osmosis. Your snake is getting through that eggshell.
I'm gonna tell you what, you're smart. You're a smart, dude. I tell you what.
I know. I'm a high school dropout with a GED.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. I used to just smoke a whole bunch of weed before I joined the Army, and I didn't do anything with myself. I just used to skateboard and smoke pot, and now I'm like this close to my bachelor's degree.
Yeah,
Just because someone told me I couldn't.
I wasted most of my 20s.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, most people do, man. That's why they're in their 20s.
Yeah,
And that's
I mean,
why
I really wasted a lot of my 20s. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. Like, it was bad enough to where, like, I should be dead and not sitting here talking to you bad.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yep. we all go through it, though, man. We all, you know, that's what they call it, living and learning.
Yep.
And your 20s is where you do dumb shit. That's where you go into debt and make bad choices and fuck it all up. Because then when your 30s come around, you got your shit together. You're paying off that debt. You're making the right choices. Your 40s is where you really coast it out, kick the kids out of the damn house, walk around naked, and then
Yeah, man.
and then 50, you really start saving all your money, and then 60, you can retire.
Yeah.
You know.
That's when you start all over again.
Yep.
When you're
When you're 60, you go back to your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'll just always breed snakes, dude, until I'm like, I physically can't do it.
Yeah.
That'll be when I stop.
I think this is something like we really want to keep doing. I know I do. And hopefully she's along for the ride.
There's going to be times where it's going to be like really hard. Like you're really going to question yourself. Everyone does it. If someone's ever told you like, they thought like, fuck, like this is too much work. Maybe I should get out. Like if someone tells you like that doesn't cross their mind, they're probably lying.
When that one snake died, I had that thought for a minute.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my fault. It was really my son's fault. But it was my fault. But
it's not an easy road to walk is what I'm saying.
yeah.
There's going to be times where it is hard. Real hard.
Yeah.
But if you just suck it up, like, and don't ever get out of it, you'll be successful. Like, there's
Inevitable.
Yeah, there's no way. You know, people, okay, it's like going to the gym. Okay, you go to the gym the first day, you're not going to see results. You go to the gym for a week, you're not going to see results. You go to the gym for a year, you see results. You go to the gym for 5 years, you're meeting goals.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's like. You're going to be tired, man. You're not going to want to hammer the project. It doesn't matter. You've got to hammer the project.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks, but
We needed this conversation tonight, that's for sure.
When you get there, you'll know, and it's going to be so good, dude.
I hope if any people that come back and end up watching this later, like I hope they get out of it what I've gotten out of it, what you've gotten out of it. Like that.
Well, I'm glad I could give you guys something for real.
Yeah.
I hope it's something that, you really take to heart and you think about it. And I hope one year that your table is across from my table at a show.
Oh yeah.
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 I hope that that's where this is going to be in 5 years. If
Yep.
5 years happens like that,
Oh yeah.
it's a lot quicker than you think.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're not-
Preacher.
Snake preacher.
Snake preacher. Thanks, Grandma. I love Tracy, man. She's good peoples.
Aw.
Everyone up in here has been pretty good peoples up in the comments.
Yeah. A lot of we've not met them, but had some kind of interaction with them at some point in time. And it's like, and we haven't. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again. We haven't even been doing it a year, and we have 1,300 followers on Instagram, and we have some really cool people that we can talk to if we need to, and hopefully now we've become friends, and
Yeah, if you guys ever need shit, you can always message me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Always.
Appreciate that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Always, like, for anything.
Yeah.
Seriously. I might take a minute to get back, but that's the Army, not me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I say,
Yeah. I get it. I mean.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, man, just like you guys are doing good. You're on the right track. Your logo's hot. You're on YouTube. You're on Instagram. So far, you're doing it right. Just get rid of some of your males and buy some girls, dude.
Right.
Buy some visual girls. And here's how I want you to really start thinking. In Morph Market, how you can go into not the filter, but search by gene, and it's the whole list from A
The
to Z.
calculator, yeah.
Okay.
We love going on to you.
No, not the calculator. Like you can pull up each. They have the breakdown of they label.
Each gene.
Yeah.
And it's A to Z. Just pick a gene, click on it, see what it does in combos, like I said, and orient your projects more, or orient your collection specifically towards projects, right? Like, you like pied.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I brought up the clown pied. That's an expensive animal.
Right.
But if you have an OD clown, what if you went and bought like a yellow belly Enchi? Or no, you have an OD pied.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy a yellow belly Enchi clown girl. You let your pied do his job because he's a male. Couple years grow up. You put that pied to that clown, and now you have ODYB Enchi double heads.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you breed one of them back to the dad, and now you
breed them to each other.
Yeah, the two to each other, and you're where you need to be.
Dude, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You're not putting a clown to a pied. You're putting an OD clown to a YB Enchi pied.
Right.
So that's something else to think about. Is if you have something with other codoms in it, that puts you ahead of the game. You got to figure out, do you like the dark stuff or do you like the light stuff? I like the dark stuff, personally, right?
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So
it depends with me. Like, it depends on how it looks. Like, I'm a visuals person. Like, if it's light and it looks good, I like it. If it's dark and it looks good, I like it.
I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. When I first got into the game, it was all about bright morphs, but they would always age like shit.
Yeah.
And now we know that combining the two helps them really age better. But when you sell your males, don't run off and just buy any female, man. Do some homework and figure out what projects you really want to gear towards.
Yeah. And not just saying it's the clown project. What part of the clown do you want to work with?
That's right. The Batman is the best building block in the clown project.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even work Batman stuff.
Right.
I
got you.
It's all my stuff is like I'm double recessive. Everything I have, Other than like Xanthic and no, even Xanthic, shit.
Sure.
Just Monarch. Monarch's not even Monarch. Yeah, everything I have is a double going towards double recessive something, because recessives. Oh yeah, business perspective. Codoms always lose money. Recessives don't.
Right. I've noticed that.
So recessives are harder to make because you have heads and shit. So recessives hold their value. Codoms don't. So that's why I bought Monarch. It's recessive.
Mm-hmm.
I paid thousands of dollars for it, and it's a very, very, very expensive mutation.
Yeah.
By the time I make more visuals, it's probably not going to be worth what I paid for it, but it'll still probably be worth more than $4,000.
Oh yeah, but you'll be able to make what you spent back.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, see what I mean.
I'll be able to sell the heads alone.
For what?
And
for
make the money. Yeah. So you need to be recessive heavy if you want to do this full time. Clown and Pied.
Not just with one recessive.
Yeah, you need to figure out what you like, breed what you like, of course, but you need to be recessive heavy, man.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's just where the hobby's going.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, and that's where the money's at.
Yeah,
but it's not always about money. But that's where when you got to make money to spend it.
Yeah. So your first goal should be to have your hobby pay for itself.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, this is how much I'm putting in per year. This is how much I want to make. If you're not breeding your own rodents, you're really going to want to start thinking about breeding your own rodents.
Yeah, but like I was saying in the beginning, it's the whole space issue with the landlord. I don't want to I don't want to like have too much going on that I can't keep out of sight.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just lie.
When we buy a house, then I can really do what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just lie.
Yeah, right?
That's just it.
Yeah.
I just lie.
Right.
And then, there's certain ways around certain things. Like the dog I showed earlier is a pit bull, right? He's a registered emotional support animal for a combat veteran with PTSD. So there's no way, even if I'm renting, that someone can tell me
you can't have him.
Yeah. And when I lived in a house that I owned once, my insurance company dropped me because of him.
Really?
And I called them and I was like, I sent you the paperwork that he's registered emotional support animal, and they fixed it.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, my homeowner's insurance. So there's always ways around stuff. You just gotta
be smart about it.
Figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
But to be full time and not breed your own rodents is borderline impossible.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it's borderline. Like, I only know one dude. That's Billy.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I know who
Dude, I don't even want to look at his rat bill.
Oh, I know how much it is. You don't want to know how much it is?
I mean,
I want to know.
It's probably every bit of $4,000 a week, if not more. Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's the number.
Right. I got you. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's big. It's a big number, man. It's a big number. So, I mean, it's cheaper to breed your own.
Yeah.
It is. I think I spend.
But it's a lot of work. You just gotta learn how to.
Fuck.
You gotta learn where to put your time.
So hard to hide the smell of rats. All right, so check this out. African soft furs are hypoallergenic. That's the other thing. They don't smell. They're cleaner than rats. And I just moved from the pine-based bedding to hemp. I heard all this shit about hemp bedding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went from cleaning my rats once a week to cleaning them once every 3 weeks.
No shit.
And so you gotta understand, time is money.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm spending less on cleaning products.
Yep.
Right? Less time. And it's just all around better. So if any of you guys out there want to try hemp bedding, hit up Chris Davenport at DS Balls. He runs a separate company called AN1.
Yeah.
AN like Alpha November, 1 the number. AN1 hemp bedding. That's who I go through. He will hook you up. That dude is awesome. He's legit.
He's got a really cool logo. His logo for AM1 hemp bedding.
Oh, the rat? Yeah.
Yeah, like the rat with the snake head type deal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So when I move over to North Carolina, after I leave here, I will be distributing. I'll be the distributor for that area.
That's
for hemp
cool.
bedding. That's the other thing is like you can make it in this hobby anyway. So if you want to be, and this is just an example, a Reptitrip distributor.
I tried. We are Maryland's so small that Reptichip has one in Maryland, which is morphed out reptiles, and he doesn't want a second one.
Yeah.
But like when I try to explain to them, I said, which makes sense, that's fine. I said, but Maryland is a small state, but there's a lot of distance between places. So morphed out is up in Frederick, which is 2.5 hours from Southern Maryland, where I'm at. You know how many people won't drive to Frederick, but would drive to La Plata, Maryland?
Yeah.
You know,
but I'm sure he ships though. He ships to all of Maryland. That's the thing. That's the kicker.
Right. And he goes to shows or bigger shows,
Yeah.
which is different. So, but I get it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but it's an example though. So for example, I am moving to Asheville. I won't live over there by the Raleigh ever again. Like the houses, all the properties I've owned over there just get too messed up from hurricanes, man. Not about that life anymore. So too much of a headache. But for example, let's say you want to be a Reptichip vendor or Cocoa Blocks or whatever substrate company you want. Hemp bedding, whatever. You're basically buying the product for wholesale price or bulk price or whatever. Then you can make your money off the product. And then you can use your own product.
Yeah.
So you're not even spending money.
Yep.
So like that's what I do with the rats. I don't sell a lot, but I sell enough to where it's not costing me any money for bedding or food or water or electricity for the rats. In turn, it costs me nothing to feed my snakes except for time.
Yeah.
So the cost of making a snake is less. It cost me about, I think, $79.72 to make a snake.
You got it down to a penny.
Yes. That's the business sense.
Yeah.
Meaning, as long as I don't hit a damn normal, I'm always making a profit.
Yep.
But to make a profit and live off of it is different as opposed to make a profit to where your hobby's paying for yourself. So for you guys, you want to make a profit to where your hobby is paying for itself.
Right, which hopefully will come in time.
It'll come in about 3 years.
Yeah. Which you have to be okay with losing a little bit of money
up front. Yeah.
Up front. But I don't ever want to take money away from my family. And like I don't want to get to a point to where I'm taking money and my rent's going to be short because I'm trying to buy a snake.
Yeah, okay. So anyone who ever watches this, do not do that. Do not buy snakes with credit card. Do not pay for snakes with bill money because the return does not come fast enough.
And the good thing is we have a lot of money right now saved up.
It's good.
We can buy a couple and would be okay. It's just convincing that it's okay. But it's not her fault. It's both of us trying to convince both of us that it's okay to take from that point right now because we'll get it back later.
So this is what I would do. I would sell your males. No, not yet. What I would do first is I would go through that Morph Market gene list like I told you.
Yeah.
And figure out the projects you want. You're already in Pied, which is good. You need to get in Clown. That's important.
Right.
But figure out what directions you want to take stuff. Obviously, eventually you're going to need a male Desert Ghost. Figure out what projects you like. Develop your taste.
Right.
Okay? Once you do that, figure out what you want to make and then price it. See how much it costs. All right? then what you do is price out the ingredients to make it. So then what you do is you look at the cost of that animal and you say, okay, the worth of that animal is going to deteriorate. I mean, it's going to deteriorate with time. It always does. So I can't really give you a ballpark on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That changes with the market. But
Right.
the ingredients to make it, you price those. Then you sell your males and you take that money and then you look at the money you have and you say, okay, I'm comfortable pinching this much from that savings.
Right.
Okay, and then that's not going to be as bad because you're going to have the money from the males that you're selling that you don't need as a cushion. The reason why I'm telling you to look at your projects first is it because it may end up being that you need those males.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. So look at your.
May need a calico fire or something.
Yeah, that might be one of your ingredients. So why waste money, right? So you look at your projects. What's your end goal? Okay. Establish a 10-year plan.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't buy shit unless I can see myself working with it for 10 years. What's your 10-year goal? Where are you at now? And what do you have to do to get there? That's basically what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
Go buy your ingredients. Be like, I'm comfortable pinching this much. This is the cushion from the male. So this is what we have together. How much do the ingredients cost?
Right.
It'll probably be less than that. So then you're not going to spend as much as you think you're going to.
I got
That's
you.
a good feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and you buy your ingredients. Your ingredients being your females.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy any males yet.
Right.
Wait for those females to be about a year old. Then go buy your male. Right? Because that way, again, your overhead is lower. Your food bill is lower because you buy the male and the female. It's another mouth to feed.
Right.
Fuck
I
that
got-
male. Grow that girl up for a year.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know?
not about the quantity of animals you have when you're first getting started.
That's right. It's cool to have 220 snakes, but it's better to have 220 motherfucking badass snakes.
Right. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Buy your ingredients and slow down. Buy your girls and then don't buy anything else. Just chill on them for a year.
Yeah.
Enjoy your journey. Grow them up. Love them.
And sell the rest of the ones that we really don't need right now.
That's right. Because that's, if you want to do this as a full-time job, you have to have that business perspective. That business perspective is everything.
Yeah.
You don't want the poor man's mentality. You want the rich man's mentality.
Yeah.
So if you see something, you know how I told you earlier, I bought Desert Ghost in 2014
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was shitting on it. And now I have so much DG
Yeah. Now look.
and I won't sell it to anybody.
Right.
I won't.
Mhm.
It's
But look-
mine.
Look how hot it's become.
Yeah, and if I wanted to, I could sell it and buy a house. I
Oh,
really could.
I'm sure.
Wow.
So that's a gene I took a risk on, even though it wasn't popular, because I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
For no other reason than I thought it looked cool and I thought it had genetic potential.
Mhm.
That's why I'm telling you, look at genes and see how they work.
Right.
That's when you'll see the genetic potential in a mutation. Right?
Because when we like it, other people will like it.
Yeah. Just, so Xanthic is a good one, right? You said earlier you really like Xanthic. Not everyone likes a black and white snake. They say, oh, that looks like just some newspaper to me. Like they're looking at a piece of newspaper,
Right.
right? So that's a very niche morph, right? Not everyone likes it. But I don't give a fuck about everybody. I like it.
Right.
So I'm going to breed it and I'm going to make cool Xanthic stuff for me, dude. And like you said, you like it. There are people who like it. I like it. Yeah, there are people who like it. It's just niche. So if you see a gene and you like it and there's genetic potential there in your eyes, buy it and work it. Don't be afraid to take that risk because it's not popular. That's the poor man's mentality.
We could be the one to make something and everybody's like, holy shit, look what
That's literally what I was about to say, dude. Is just because someone else doesn't have the vision for that project doesn't mean you won't. Like when okay, like I'll never forget this day. This was one of the craziest days of my life. I came back from my last deployment to Afghanistan. I get to my house, I hang out, love all my dogs for a little bit. I turn my phone on, and that day the Pompeii video dropped where Justin revealed the Pompeii.
Mm-hmm.
And that day the price for Red Stripe went way up.
Oh yeah.
But before that, you couldn't even sell a Red Stripe. Like
Nobody.
I could list a Red Stripe for $20. People would be like, "Kill yourself." Like
That's
no
fun.
one would buy a Red Stripe. But Justin had the vision for that project.
Mm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That's great.
Yeah, and anyone can do that. Anyone. So develop your taste. Find what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Sell the males you don't need. Buy what you want. Take a risk if you need to. Like, I'm telling you, there's so many genes out there that are incredible. You're gonna see your collection grow over time and where it's being geared towards. And you're gonna really love it. You're gonna love your collection if you breed what you like.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man, absolutely. Fuck
But,
yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us, man. It's been almost 3 hours. I can't believe how fast time's going by.
I know. This
I know
is
you-
fun. And
I know, dude. I was like,
informative.
man, these
I
guys
wasn't
are.
sure what to expect. Like, I figured, I don't know what I thought, how this conversation was going to go, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. Usually people are like, here's a script. So this was really good to, like, shoot from the fly.
Yeah.
That's how I like it.
That's
Yeah.
how I like it too.
Weird.
Lots of people are just like, they have like a piece of paper on the side. They already know what they're going to ask me.
Yeah.
This
Oh
was
wow.
this was cool.
Yeah. I just like thinking, like, if I have something I want to ask, I'll ask it. But it's easier for me just to go with it. We're just having a conversation and we're just going with what works.
Yeah, man. No, you guys are doing really good. You just have to keep hammering the project. Like you said, it's been a year. You have 300 and some change on subs, 1,300 on followers. Just had your first clutch. Like you're still getting your feet wet, right?
Oh, yeah.
But enjoy that journey, man. You guys are literally doing everything right as far as social media, marketing. You just got to tighten up your projects and your collection and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be my advice to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're doing.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's good advice, is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm taking it to heart and I'm listening and
Good.
learning.
Because I want you to be successful. Lots of people
Yeah.
shit on other people. I want more successful people in my hobby because I love it. I want you guys to make something so badass that I want to buy it from you.
Right.
Like, I want that for you.
And that's like what I want to happen. Like, I want somebody to, like you or Troy or Tom and Casey or whatever, anybody. I don't care who it is, just to be like, oh, wow, they made something cool. I'm buying it from them. Or I'm buying 5 of it from them or whatever the case.
Yeah.
And
You'll get there, man. Just keep hammering.
it takes time.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Nah, that's for sure.
And neither was JKR.
That's funny. But
That's the truth.
I know I can't thank you enough.
I know.
I
This has
appreciate
been
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I had a good time. I had a lot of fun.
And now we're about to move some snakes around.
Yep. We're writing a list down and we're going to be moving snakes in the room, trying to get one to eat, and hopefully some will find a new zip code.
Yeah, dude. I'm about to.
Because like you said, them bitches ain't paying rent.
Yeah, motherfuckers ain't paying rent. Gotta bounce.
Right.
Later, nerds.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm telling you, man. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it.
And no problem. If you guys ever need anything,
Yeah.
hit me up. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you so much.
Thank you, brother. I
Well,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. You guys have a good night. All right.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for stopping in.
Bye.
Yeah, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate it. That was a good one.
Hell yeah. Later.
All right, bro.